SMTN.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Shin Megami Tensei Network Link 385. I'm your patron saint, host extraordinaire, who will not be hearing any ambient subway noises because that will be due to our special guest of the week. Liam Omega is back, better than ever, meatier than ever, colder than ever. How are you feeling today, Liam?
Bonjour, mes amis.
Frencher
I was,
than ever.
I was saving that for the I was saving that for the Game Awards when we talk about Expedition 33, but
It will. I mean, we were gonna have a live reaction for the Grammys, but clearly the Grammys hates good music, so we're not gonna be giving them any attention this year.
the Grammys hate all music.
It's like, what is an IP I've heard of? Okay, Avatar DLC, you get it.
Star Wars, you get it. Indiana Jones, you get it.
Oops, all Ubisoft, basically. And then somehow somebody was friends with Austin Wintory and was like, oh yes, Sword of the Sea, you get a slip in there too. That's like the credibility check one.
Yeah.
But yes, Liam, you are here, unsurprisingly, to talk some music with us once again. But before we get into that, because I do feel like it's been at least two
It's been
or
a while.
three. Yeah, it's been about 2 or 3 Expedition 33 patches, which is how I track time now. It used to be, I used to count how many years has it been since Oasis was on tour, but that's been a lot less easy to keep track of now.
It's real. I've seen them.
They're real. They're not just a meme. Oasis was real. I forgot to ask you actually, when you saw him recently, was that your first time, or have you ever seen him perform before?
No, I was way too young. Well, I mean, not too young, but by the time they broke up, I still hadn't discovered really any music yet.
Man, I can't wait for 2026 to be the year of you discovering Creed. I just want you to start going to like butt rock shows, rap rock. Like we need like the Nickelback tour report from you next year. We need your musical taste just to really take a left turn.
That'll be my sacrifice. I'll I'll take you higher with arms wide open.
But yeah, man, it's been an insanely weird year in terms of I feel like this year almost more than any, because I feel like we say this every year, but this year has had too many bangers. Like there's not been a single month where there's not something crazy coming out that either I wish I was playing or need to get to be playing.
Yeah.
This is how behind I am, by the way. I'm someone who I bought Silent Hill F on launch day, and your
hmm
whole saga of not playing it, getting other games to play to distract yourself while playing it, and then finally playing it, like you've gone through that whole saga before I've even booted that game up. Like that's how behind I am on stuff.
Yeah. Did I tell you I've completed it 100%?
I don't think I had seen that, but so I assume you did what, all 4 endings and stuff.
Well, 5, but technically, but yes.
Very jealous. I know I have no reason to not just start playing it right away. My dumb brain, though, is like, you started Silent Hill 2 Remake. You have to finish that before you. Because, like, in my brain, I can juggle multiple games. I just can't juggle, like, 2 Silent Hill games at once. Because I'm like, just do it.
That's too
Especially.
depressing.
Well, very true. But also the funny thing is, like, I know, like, ironically, Silent Hill F is the shorter game, but, like, Silent Hill 2, because I've played the original so many other times and stuff, it's like, Silent Hill 2, I would be happy just doing a one playthrough for immediately, whereas I know the kind of person I am that, like, I wouldn't just roll credits on Silent Hill F and be like, oh, well, I don't need to replay this game. Like, that's the one thing everyone has said about that game, is like, no, if you buy Silent Hill F, you are doing yourself a disservice by only playing it one time.
Yeah, it's like It's like Nier Automata. Like it's like I got an ending. It's like, yeah, no, you didn't. You are nowhere near done with that game.
See, I feel though like the Nier Automata comparison is very apt, but also can sometimes scare people away. Because if you don't play Nier Automata, you hear the game has 26 endings, and you go, "Ah, oh, fuck, I don't want to play 26 endings of a game." Whereas in reality, Nier only, much like Silent Hill F, is like Nier only has like 4 to 5 endings you really need to experience, and it's still a linear
Yeah.
experience. You're gonna go through some of the same stuff, but the game is it's tailored to help you get through those without it being like, "What am I doing different?" There's never like, okay, well, James, you get to either get the revolver ammo or you get the syringe. And if you pick up the revolver ammo, you have ending D now. Now you got to repeat the whole game to get that.
Yeah.
I mean,
And now 100 line on the other hand.
oh yeah, that one I will say I still want to get to. That one is like, okay, I just hear war stories basically of like friends playing that game and like, I don't know, man. I mean, I might finish it this year. I might finish it next year. They may update it randomly to add another 100 endings. Who fucking knows? Um, that one I still really
Yeah.
need to get to, but no spoilers at least for anyone out there who is curious. For you,
Yeah, I haven't played it either.
did did Silent Hill F did it live up to the hype? Are you glazing it along with the rest of the internet? How are you feeling about it post 100%ing?
So I actually didn't really have that much hype for Silent Hill F. At least at first. But I just kind of waited to see how it would like come out and until I played myself, excuse me. But having now 100%ed it, I will say it's almost the best Silent Hill game out there.
Next to Book of Memories.
And yes, exactly.
Now what do you have as
But
number one? Because Silent Hill is always a funny one of like, I know most people go SH2, but I feel like nowadays it's less rare to hear other games. The only one I would ever do a double take is when someone's like, "Oh yeah, man, big I don't know. I think the only one that I would legitimately like stop you in your tracks if you told me this with a straight face, if someone was like, you know what, I really feel like Silent Hill Ascension's like the best one of the series, just because I think even Konami forgot that
no,
one came out.
as they should, as should everyone else. Um, but no, actually, my top Silent Hill game, and this might be weird considering what I'm about to say about F, probably. Is Silent Hill 4.
Oh, dude, the room is really underrated. It's far from
Yeah,
perfect, but in terms of like, I would say like as a Silent Hill, it's definitely the worst out of the first four. But I mean, as a horror game, it's super recommendable. Like it's like,
as a horror game, yeah,
yeah, it's
it's got
very
the
serviceable. Like if you like stuff like Siren, or if you like stuff like Haunting Grounds, or even like the Fatal Frame stuff, like I think unsurprisingly, at least like for me, the stuff with the first person, the stuff with the nightmares, the hauntings and stuff, like there's stuff that they do in Silent Hill 4 that I wish other games took from.
yeah. But I will say though, even though it's my favorite, it is also one of the most horribly designed games I've ever played. Um, there's just so many like bad gameplay decisions in that. Whereas Silent Hill F really only has one major problem in my eyes, uh, and that's the combat. It is awful. It's the worst combat of the entire series.
Which is funny because like I've seen people kind of jump from other sides with it of like, oh, it's the worst combat because it's very repetitive, or because like it's very kind of like gimmicky, or even other things where, would you say is your issue, without getting too much into it, was it that you got really tired of it, or because of how the difficulty is really horribly balanced? Because I am still shocked they haven't gone back and added in like a third difficulty mode, just because the whole story mode, hard mode thing with that game would have made sense to be a dumb thing at launch, but like 3 months later, I'm like, what are we doing?
No, I mean Silent Hill kind of always like, well, not always. They had that for a while for like with the original 2 and 3. They had like separate difficulties for like the combat and then puzzles. But no, the problem I had with the combat is that it's just it's just a mess overall. I don't think it fits well narratively for a couple reasons, but just mechanically, it is just not fun. It's very repetitive, um, and when you're fighting multiple enemies, just very frustrating, especially on the harder difficulties. And I just overall, I just don't think it fits. It's a worse fit for a Silent Hill game um than even having no combat, which Shattered Memories had.
Now, that being said, though, considering you 100%ed it, I assume still pretty high up there in terms of games you played this year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, like I said, if it wasn't for the combat, it probably well no, actually Expedition 33 my top, and Alters would still be number 2. But no, it's still an incredible game. I love the story, like everything else, like from story to music, atmosphere, like all of that, top tier. Like honestly, probably the best in the series. Um, and then the combat it does the worst in the series. So it's like the two extremes.
It's I will say the continued discussion about it, like the longer we go away from it, I'm surprised how much I still see it pop up. Obviously, with it being like Halloween, that helped a lot. But it's
Yeah,
probably up there as like legitimately like the next game, or not even the next game, because I feel like that changes, especially with upcoming releases still happening. But like for me, I legitimately am in the side of like hell or high water by end of the year, because I think November and December will help with less big releases coming out. Like I'm not ending this year without having at least booted that up or gotten pretty far into it, because that's just like the amount of praise and stuff I've heard for it just makes me so excited.
yeah.
Now I will say, because I don't know how much of a visual novel sicko you are, has the has like your enjoyment of the story made you want to go check out the author's other works? So he has a lot of other visual novels he also worked on that are really good. Like I know the biggest one is probably like Higurashi.
Umineko
Oh yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah, Umineko. Yeah. Yeah, I'm interested for sure. Don't know when I'll when I'll get to it because God, I'm so indecisive about what I want to play next. Or do next. But yeah, one day I would like to check out some more of his work.
I never know with you, man. I feel like one day I could like log on to Twitter and you'll be like, brothers and sisters, I'm here to announce I'm changing the rest of my life, and I'm now a professional Dune player. I'm playing Dune online all the time. You're on there with you're on there summoning the sandworm, and you're like, damn, I didn't know I didn't know Liam was short for Liam Asaid, or what fucking whatever we have to call Paul Atreides' character.
We'll get we'll get there someday. I still have many arcs to go through. I'm
The
like One
Dune,
Piece.
the Dune, yeah, the Dune arc is a long and treacherous one. It will define you. You'll have blue eyes. You may or may not date Zendaya at one point. We don't know. Well, enough about
Uh,
everyone's favorite game of 2025, Dune Online or Dune Awakening. I have already forgotten the name of it, but I joke, but I will
yeah.
probably play that when that comes to console. You and I are here to talk about world-breaking Atlus news, and that news, as everyone can probably tell by the title of this episode and the thumbnail, is they released a demo for Raito Remastered. Halt the presses.
Holy
Stop.
shit, we are so back.
We we've never sold more copies of this game since this demo announcement. No, that's the Persona concert we're talking about. But I had to give a weird shout out to this because I'm a bit of a demo savant. I think if you're like as any poor child is, nothing helps cool the weight for more games than playing demos. Even if you don't need to be playing them, I'm just always a sucker for playing more demos. Uh, the announcement of it came this week, and it was very weird because it was like randomly announced in November. This game's been out for 5+ months, and Atlus is
Damn.
like, here's a demo, which they've done before. I'd say the last really late release demo we got was P3R, and that one made sense, especially coming off of Metaphor. But what was funny about this is with Raito's demo, it's still pretty chunky. You get to play all the way up until the end of the first chapter or the first case file, And what's weird about it is it's only on PC, PS5, and Switch 2, which I've seen less people talk about. Obviously, most people aren't talking about Raito getting a demo. Them doing that big patch in September, and then this demo, I feel pretty safe in saying this is Atlus's like, all right, we've shoved enough interns in the closet, and this is all they could do to hopefully sell more copies of this game before we have to start clearancing it down to like $25 or less. But Liam, what do you think of this? Do you think this moves the needle? Are you interested? I forget actually. You had or had not picked up Rito Remastered.
I had not.
Well, I'll tell you what. We can tell those Xbox people to go fuck themselves. They got no demo. You're gonna have to go to PC.
Yeah, I know.
Go fucking stream it or something.
As it's funny. As you were talking, I was like looking up, trying to look up the demo on like through my Xbox app, and I couldn't find it. And then you said like you were saying it was on PC, PlayStation, and Switch 2, and I was like, okay, there's no Xbox here, huh?
Yeah, it's very weird because on one hand, I get the choice of like not putting the demo on everything. But then the systems that aren't there are really kind of like the head scratchers cuz like Raito is on Xbox, it's on Switch 1, it's on PS4. I think you could probably I don't know, cuz like for a demo like this, especially cuz with Raito Remastered, it's not that drastically different depending on where you play it outside of like frame
Mm-hmm.
rate and resolution. It's kind of like couldn't you have just taken a couple more days and made the demo available on that? My only guess is like, with the exception of Switch, although even Switch is weird because it's like Switch 2. It's like like they picked this outside of PC because again PC is the easiest one for them to make a demo for, but like for PS5 and Switch 2 to be the only console demos, it's very funny because you imagine in the West Switch 2 is probably the worst selling version of it next to Xbox, and
Mm-hmm.
PS5 is up there with like Switch. So it's like in my brain I think, okay, maybe they wanted it to sell more on these two systems and thought maybe a demo would help, but only on those. I can't really make heads or tails of it. Like the leaving out specific console systems for demos is odd because like they've not done this before. Like you look at all the other demos they've done. Metaphor had a demo on everything. Even Unicorn
Mm-hmm.
Overlord. Unicorn Overlord had a demo on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox, and PC
Yep.
as well. Oh no, no PC. Vanilla or hates PC, but Switch as well. So it's like we've never left things out before, and especially since I know you're a big Xbox guy, I was kind of curious how I
Or
don't
is
know
that
like
a
how do you feel about the current I know this definitely hasn't come up recently. How are you feeling as a current Xbox enjoyer in the year of 2025?
uh
It's just
that's
that
it.
sound effect.
Just
That, that was the whole review. Cuz
even
I
even me
have an
more.
idea for an episode that I have a specific person I want to have in mind, but honestly, you'd even be a good person to join as a third. But an idea that I want to talk about that honestly just kind of keeps progressing. It's a bit of an evergreen topic till it happens, but I really am curious about the future of Atlus and Xbox because obviously they were very late to start coming to the platform with like Soul Hackers.
Yep.
And again, like the Xbox Series X and X have been out since 2020, and even Xbox One didn't have any main Atlus games from 2020, no, since 2013 all the way up to 2022. So a
Yep.
9 year celibacy basically, and most of that only happened because of them putting money into games with Game Pass. And I think especially with the way like Microsoft has been changing, I think there's a really interesting discussion that I'd love to have, especially with like bigger Atlas fans who play on Xbox. Of like, in my brain, I would not be shocked. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but like if and it's a very specific caveat because I know with like the future of Xbox consoles is very weird, especially with the PC-ness of it. Of like in my brain where we're at right now, I could totally see P4R being the last console Xbox game.
Yeah, I could too.
Which sucks, because like I think there's a lot of people who got used to and really appreciated having those games on Game Pass, and even if they weren't on Game Pass, having them there to play on Xbox One, Series S, and X, etc. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I still bought them. I played them on Game Pass, but I still bought them
And I mean,
afterwards.
even other benefits. Like I remember, honestly, it felt like almost as big of a deal, if not bigger. I remember so many people were using Game Pass Ultimate as a good example of value with the episode I guess DLC. You don't know who never complained about the price of that DLC? Xbox owners, because they got that shit
Xbox
for
fans.
free.
Well, free in quotations, but
Well,
yeah,
I will say with the Xbox Game Pass, that one's different because remember they very rarely do DLC because if you ever get DLC through Game Pass, as
yeah.
long as you download it, you keep it forever, even if you stop being a Game Pass owner.
hmm Yeah.
So like that one, that one's the kind of funny thing of like, imagine how big brained you would be if like just play like you do a 6 month trial for Game Pass, or hell even like a 1 month trial for Game Pass. You start playing P3R, you get the DLC, and by the time your month trial is up, you still have the DLC, and you buy the game for like $20 digitally or physically, and you've got the equivalent of like $90 in value for like $20.
They
But yeah, like
don't do that anymore though.
oh no, no, not anymore. But like, without getting into it like too much for it, like, how have you sort of been feeling in terms of like the support? Because obviously we're not gonna just see things like stop immediately with it, but especially for companies sort of like this, and like when you see things like this with like Writer Remastered, like skipping it, does it make you? I guess want to just be like, okay, well this sucks and not do anything about it, or do you then just go like, okay, well I'm gonna play it here, I'm gonna do this.
Well, I mean, you were worried about Atlus's relationship with Xbox, but from what it seems like, Xbox is kind of worried about its relationship with Xbox because it seems like they're really starting to move away from the whole Xbox ecosystem and just going off to do their own thing with PCs. Like they had the when they released the ROG Ally, their own ROG Ally, like last month, I think,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yep. It was
But
in October.
in October, yeah. And I don't know, I think it considering the moves that Microsoft and Xbox are doing, I think it's just I think Alice and other companies are just considering maybe might be time to distance themselves,
I'll be
which is
curious.
a bummer.
I wish because Atlas obviously has the data for it, but I know, and I'm sure many people are not surprised by this, that like probably the smallest minority in their fan group of like players, if you talked consoles, Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox and PC, Xbox consoles have got to probably be the smallest amount, but like when you see, especially like when bigger games like Metaphor or especially like Persona 3 were out and other things like that, it was that interesting thing of like you would still see them in the like top 10 played games on Xbox, which is always a list I find interesting to watch because it's like, yeah, it's not paid players all the time, but it's where people are spending their time, and time is almost if not as important as money in this sense. Whereas like I
hmm
feel like I'm not crazy to say that I think being generous maybe, or maybe I don't know if this is generous or like pessimistic, but I've always kind of felt like for me, if I was categorizing Atlas fans I talk to who play on Xbox, it's like 10%. Like I think 10% is a pretty realistic amount where like that those numbers usually get spent. Like do you feel like that's
Yeah.
high, low, or like on the money?
Um, I'd say that's on the money.
Because, like, for me, when I've done polls, whether it be, like, on YouTube, the Facebook group, or things like that here, it's usually pretty high of... And it kind of depends on whether it be, like, SMT or Persona, but, like, if I ever just, like, ask Atlas fans in general, PlayStation and Nintendo were pretty close to, like, 40-30, PC is in that 25 to 30 range, depending on either when you ask or who you ask, as well as like
Hmm.
Xbox, like always there. Like it's always at least like I always know of a handful of people who are playing Atlus games on Xbox if they are there. Because I mean, especially now at this point, it's really funny to think like I'm looking at my shelf here, it's not a ton of games, but I mean, considering they only started supporting the platform in 2022, like you look at the stuff that they've put out, you have Soul Hackers 2, P5R, Persona 5 Tactica, P3 Portable, Golden, Metaphor, Unicorn Overlord, Shin Megami Tensei 5, and then even with P4R, and I'm sure oh, and Raito, yeah, like that's at least like 10 games they've put out or are planning on putting out in less than 4 years,
Hmm.
which is a good amount of support, but also I got to imagine a lot of that's been bankrolled by Microsoft, who when we're canceling internal projects, you've got to imagine. Do we want to put money into Raito Remastered 2 coming onto our system? The answer is probably a very harsh hell no.
Yeah.
For you though, because I'm kind of curious because it's been getting discounted a lot going back to Raito. Raito Remastered as I would say just now started getting digital sales. Physical, it's been you can pick it up pretty much 40 to 35 bucks at most stores these days. Uh, have you been waiting in terms of like obviously you're not going to get sold on a demo right now for it since it's not on the system with it,
Yeah.
but for you as someone who hasn't picked up Raito, has it been one of those ones of hey there's too many games or I'm waiting for a good sale? Like what would be something that would turn you into someone who would be like okay I'll download it?
Uh, Honestly, I kind of want to. It's not even like about like waiting for a discount or because there's too many games or anything like that. It's actually because I think I want to play the original Raito on PS2 first. That might seem kind of weird, but like, um, I excuse me. Um, with this whole like flood of like remasters and remakes, I fancy myself a bit more. This is gonna sound really smug, but I fancy myself a purist, um, or some kind of. Even though I don't play as many Atlas and games as I'd like. Oh god, I'm not. I'm presenting myself in the worst light here, but I had the
Fake
original
fan over
Raito.
here, everybody.
Yep, but I had the original Raito games, and I want to play them at some point, and I just think playing the uh Raito remastered first would kind of might tarnish my view a bit of the originals, if that makes sense.
I'm totally with you. I'm definitely like I'm the kind of sicko that when something like okay, there's a couple of different like areas with it because Atlas is always really guilty of this in a lot of the times.
Hmm.
I think in a different world, because like I'll use an example like when P5R got announced. That was one where I was like, okay, I need to do a full playthrough of P5 before this game comes out because I really want to compare them, see what's
Yeah,
new, see what's going to. Because for me, I was going into Persona 5 Royal like, cool, Persona 5 is definitely worth $60, and so by factor, you would probably just be like, okay, cool, like. Of course, P5R is going to be worth $60, but for me, as someone who hadn't played it I was like, okay, yeah, but you're asking realistically $120 from a Persona 5 fan because now I'm buying the same game twice with more content that I can't upgrade. And so I kind of want to
yeah.
have that context and that knowledge there for something that's a little bit less or maybe a little bit different. And things have changed for me for other ones. Like if it's a remake, there will be times where I'll be like, okay, cool, I want to jump into this. And I guess maybe it's like, because I was going to be like, well, I didn't do a full playthrough of Persona 3 before Reload came out, but then I was like, oh, but literally a year before it came out, I played the port of P3P again. I was like, yeah, that's a good point. Like, that's me. I've played that game a lot. I already kind of know what to expect with that. And it's a remake, which you know was going to be drastically different of either having more or less of a certain amount of content. Where
Hmm.
I then think about something for Raito I hadn't played original Raito since probably whenever it got added to PlayStation 3 back in like 2010 or 2012.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that. That it
Raito
got
is
added to PlayStation 3.
yeah, so and you can still buy those. Like if you have a PS3, like definitely the cheapest way to play Raito legally is just boot up your PS3. Like those it has the both the first and second game on there for $10. It's a total steal. But
Interesting.
out outside of the fact that like cuz Raito Remastered is interesting. Of like it for me, I'm one of those people of like I think it's like the Oblivion remaster of like yeah, it's a remake though. Like you did a lot. Like you did
Yeah.
way more work than you should have. Like this is not a remaster. But it still obviously has a lot of things from the original that like the only thing I think I would ever tell someone if they were like, "Hey, should I experience the original or should I play Ride Remastered?" I'm like, "No, Ride Remastered is like really just the definitive way to play this. Of like, it's not like a Nocturne HD where oh, it's the same but a little weird and there's like a piss filter on everything now. It's like, no, the only
Hmm.
thing that people are maybe going to be like sticklers on is I mean, there were some people who were a little wonky on the lighting, but I think that fell off very quickly after release. Versus you look at something like
Well, then we
Writer,
complained about the lighting in the
yeah,
Persona 4 Revival trailer.
well, yeah, that's true. But I mean, even something like I think honestly, the only thing that like is genuinely lost from the original vision of Raito One is the fixed camera angles in the pre-rendered backgrounds. Like for someone like me, like I love pre-rendered backgrounds. That's very much like of its time for PS1 and PS2 games. I like
Yeah.
that, but for what they were doing with it, like it still looks good. It still is very like technically like up to snuff these days. Like you're not looking at it and be like, oh, this game looks bad. Ironically, the only aspects of Rito One that look genuinely dated is because for whatever reason they touched up all the backgrounds, all the major characters, and most of the demons. But there are a few demons that have never left Rito 1 and 2 that like so like if there was a demon that like let's say like the Jack Frost model in Persona 4 or 5 and stuff like that that were all based on the ones that were used in Rito 1, they're using the more updated like looking like Jack Frost there, whereas like there are some weird funky looking demons that have only ever been in the Rito games and you can tell because they have a way smaller polygon count. And then the same thing with all the NPCs, like any of the like random like town folks around, they look like they're made up with like PS1 graphics. Like they are okay, I was not supposed to be looking at you this up close. Like this is just straight up a model rip from those games. So it's kind of funny of like there's like
Kind of
little
charming.
yeah, it's more charming than like distracting you or taking you out of the moment, but Rhino's a weird one where it's like I totally get it if people want to play it, but like, especially if you're someone who's like, I want to play it just to get an idea, I'd be like, go for it. Definitely check it out. Rhino 1 is still a very fun, weird game, but like, undoubtedly, like, Rhino 1 just is a worse version of it compared to Remastered, where it's like the combat is more fun, the game looks better, it plays better, it's on more systems, you have voice acting now, but at its core, it's still that same game. To the point where I didn't feel like I was like, oh, I should boot up Raito again. I was like, I could have, I just didn't really have to. Or like, it was that thing where sometimes with a game, I get it. Like, you want to go back, you want to like make things feel fresh again with it. Whereas like, I just didn't have that at all with Raito, in the sense where even from its reveal, I was just like, okay, cool, this looks good. I'm excited to play this. And I mean, obviously it's a little different. Like we knew about the game coming out like we only knew it officially like 2 months before it was out, which is a little different.
Yeah. It was very close.
But yeah, like for you, if you were to go back and play it, like what do you think you would want to play it on? Like, do you think you would just like say F it and go like emulate it, like try and like get an original copy or play on PS3?
No, I have the original copies.
Now
Don't
you
ask
just
how much I paid.
a cool crisp $20 bill.
If only. Not in this economy.
Well, you can at least lord it over me. You still have your copies of Rhino. Rhino 1 and 2 suffered the great PS3 trade-in purge of Spencer circa 2008 and 2009.
The late 2000s.
Well, I mean, that was literally just one of those things where it's like, gun to my head, Spencer's being told, all right, buddy, you've got hundreds of dollars worth of games and you want a PS3. You have no job. You're literally fresh out of middle school. How the fuck are you going to afford a $600 PS3? And my only option, I was
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I got to just sell everything.
I mean, let's be honest. That's pretty much the tactic you people use today.
It's really funny though because I look back at the games I didn't sell and those stick out to me so much. Like the games I sold versus the ones I kept are really really funny. Of like I look at like I sold like Rhino 1 and 2, but you know what I didn't sell? I kept my copy of Eco. I kept my copy of Shadow of the Colossus. I still have fucking Half-Life 1 on PS2. Like all these weird games that I'm like, "No, Spencer, you can afford to sell No More Heroes. You can't afford to lose Half-Life 1 on PS2."
Oh, that hurts. As a big No More Heroes fan, that hurts.
What was I getting? Oh no, actually no. No More Heroes wouldn't have been sold for that. I don't know why or what I would have, but I remember No More Heroes was one of those funny ones of like I love No More Heroes, but let's be real, No More Heroes 1, especially if you're not a game collector, is very much a you run through it once and you're done with that game. There's not a lot of replay value.
True, but it's fun running through every couple of years.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, at least at this point, I keep telling myself they're going to port the first and second game over to other systems, but yeah, No More Heroes is at such a weird spot where, man, I don't even fucking know. I don't even know if Marvelous knows what they want to do with that franchise anymore, especially after 3.
Yeah, good old Suda.
Oh, I know. Over there, at least for the time being, making games over at NetEase. We don't know how long, but he's at least still cashing that sweet sweet Chinese money paycheck. So wrapping up the Raito talk, cool that there's a demo. Cool that it's a pretty meaty one. I think they are releasing this at the absolute worst time. Everyone's busy playing a bunch of other stuff. Not a lot of word of mouth, or there really wasn't even like a marketing push for it outside of like a trailer. But
Yeah, I didn't even know it was
yeah,
out.
cool that it's there. There's a larger discussion with how demos should or shouldn't be handled, but I mean, the long and short of it for me is always going to be look at how Metaphor did it, and that's perfect. I mean, hell. Even with as much as I think that demo did damage, even Persona 3 Reload on Switch 2 was a great use of that demo. Of put that out like a month and a half before, and you are gonna at least for people who want to play that game, they got to experience that. Now, for a lot of people, they probably played it and went, "Nah, I don't need to spend $60 on this." But you look at
Yeah.
how Metaphor did, and people clearly had the opposite reaction, where they're like, "Holy fuck, I definitely got to spend $70 on this." But yes, let's jump into our main topic. Today, we are here to talk about. I'm gonna be honest
Video
with
game
you.
concert.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Liam. I don't know how you were feeling about it, but literally a week before the Persona Live 2026 like date got announced, I was just telling people, I'm like, it is fucking November. They announced
Yeah,
this concert back in Anime Expo over the summer. They were like,
July.
Persona concert in LA, first time ever, January 2026. And I'm fucking sitting here with my watch being like, are these motherfuckers expecting me to just like plan a last minute trip to LA like after like Christmas or like what? Like I was worried for multiple reasons that this just straight up was going to get canceled, which thankfully it did not. But like,
Yeah,
were you
yeah.
getting like worried about it? Because I felt like I was just being like, what the fuck are we doing with this thing?
No, absolutely. I was also worried. I was betting that they weren't going to cancel it, but at least delay it by a couple months. So the theory that my friends and I had were that maybe they were they were having trouble with visa issues for the performers.
I could see the visa things for sure. My other worry was like, how big do they really expect this to be? Because now
Yeah.
obviously in retrospect, this is clearly a bigger concert than the SMT one, but like nowhere near as big as like they're not doing a giant tour. This is a one and
Well, the
done
SM
kind of show.
well the SMT concert wasn't even like an individual like wasn't really. It was like a part of Anime Expo. It was part of a convention, whereas this is like its own thing. And actually, I expected when they announced that it would be taking place in January of 2026, my first thought was, are they going to do it during Anime Los Angeles, which is at the very start of January? Which actually I was secretly hoping for, because that would mean I would be able to I wouldn't have to decide between doing ALA or the Persona concert.
I I'm kind of in a weird one where I would have been fine if it was tied to an event again. I think the way that the SMT concert worked was fine, especially
Yeah.
because that was a funny one where that was definitely a packed concert, but clearly never sold out. Like we got to a point where they were just handing tickets out. I remember like on the merch floor at Anime Expo, like day one, because the concert was at the end of day one. Like it was like,
Yep.
hey, did you spend $20 at the fucking udon booth? Here's 5 tickets. Hand them to anyone, please. Just make sure someone goes to this fucking concert. And it wasn't
Yeah.
they weren't low on tickets, but they clearly had either a bunch of reserved tickets or because that venue was not small by any means, but like that was like it's a standing room kind of concert. Like so
Yeah.
you could fill a lot of seats there because there's literally
Couple.
no
Yeah.
seats. Oh
But
well, that's
also
not
the
true.
fact that you had to. Also the fact that you had to buy it. The fact that it was also tied to Anime Expo means you couldn't like get a ticket without getting an Anime Expo badge. Which, considering which like you were saying, considering how much they didn't, they were kind of giving tickets away by the by the day of the show. I guess didn't really help things that much or really affect them drastically.
Yeah, because it's
But
funny because with the SMT concert, it was obviously it is an official Anime Expo merch thing, but then what was funny is when we got there, is everyone kind of came into this realization of being like, if you when you bought the ticket, it was like, hey, make sure you have a badge for Anime Expo because this is an Anime Expo event. And then at no point
yeah,
during the concert did anyone actually ever get checked on that. So once that word of mouth kind of got in because they were letting people in so early to the concert, or at least start lining up for the concert so early, that helped I think a lot fill it out because people were then like, okay, I can go, because even if you're in LA, Anime Expo tickets like are pretty expensive.
yeah, I'm probably never doing Anime Expo again.
So
Went
I
for one day and I was like, nope.
I think separating it was the smarter move. Venue wise, and I forget the name of the one, but it was a much smaller theater right next to the LA Convention Center for SMT.
Yep.
This one's at the Dolby Theater, but like for comparison, the SMT concert was in a venue that was like just shy over like 2,000 people, and then the Dolby is like just shy under 4. So like we're almost twice as large. But the thing with the
Hmm.
Dolby is this one is very much more a you have a seat. Like this is like where they do the Game Awards. This is where they do like or like Summer Game Fest
No, they
and
do
like the
Peacock
Academy
Theater.
Awards and
That's
stuff over there.
they do the Game Awards at the Peacock Theater.
Yes, sorry. Peacock Theater is for Game Awards. The Summer Game Fest, like opening night, not opening night, that's Gamescom. But no,
Yeah,
the little pre-show they do for Summer Games Fest, they do usually at the Dolby.
yeah,
So
and they do and like you said, they do the Oscars as well, which I was saying I can't wait for Conan O'Brien to come out and announce the band.
he would be making some hilariously easy money by doing that. Whoever is like, we got an extra like 3 grand. What can we do? Let's hire Conan O'Brien for 2 lines.
Yeah,
So
they get
we
their money's worth.
that's true. We got our announcement. It's called Persona Live 2026 Awakenings, and I'll just go through the really quick rundown of information, and then we'll kind of dive into this because there's a lot of different factors to talk about this. Because let me tell you, it's been a week. Like we've known about this honestly, like what, probably less than a week, because Sega put out a blog post announcing this. I
Yeah.
want to say what, Monday?
Was it last? Yes, it was last Monday.
Yeah, because it.
I remember. You know how I remember,
Hmm.
because when they announced it, I was like, all right, time to renew my passport.
Yeah, it was announced Monday morning with literally
Yep.
no fanfare. Like there was a website link and a post about it. Like you would have thought that they had been like, "Oh, we've got big news coming." Um, and then what was funny about it was announced for that. It was announced Monday with a whopping 48 hours for you to prep your wallet's butthole to have to then buy tickets. So I hope you didn't pay rent recently. Hope you didn't just spend a
Oh,
lot of money or
I did.
anything. And
I paid rent, paid electric bill, and paid 130 to renew my passport. So I was like, well, but yeah, I don't know if we'll talk about this like later, but I'll just say now. So I mentioned to you that that I'm going with a group of friends, and they got tickets for us, and I was like, I'm gonna need like a week or so until I get my paycheck to pay my part. So I have an IOU.
which in your case, very good. I'll be honest, dude. I was like, I haven't bought tickets for anything like in a very long time. I don't think I've been to concerts, but I don't think I have been to like a concert that I paid for since the SMT concert. Like everything else has been like, okay, here's a show. Oh, we've got tickets for this, or do you want to go to that? Like I'm very much like a concert noob, so like I'm coming off of
Mm.
like all the like worry of, and especially in the last year, of all these shows dropping last minute ticket sales, and it's like, oh yeah, general attendance is like 150 a person or like 200 or like crazy prices. And especially with
Right.
it being in LA, I'm like, okay, I'm just preparing myself to get completely reamed here. And I was pleasantly shocked about ticket prices not being terrible. But before we get into like the prices and in the thing of that for it, I want to go through really quick. So for anyone out there who is curious, so Persona Lives have happened, I want to say at least since 2015, and
I think 2014.
I forget with how long, because
Or there's like,
I know that
or maybe
they're like
2013. Yeah.
they're usually about every 2 years, and I know there was one in 15. Let me double check. Persona Super Live
I'm just going off
2014.
like I know the live albums they released.
Oh no, yeah, because there were older ones as well. I forget about that because yeah, there was one for 14. Then there was like the infamous year where they had like the Trinity Souls people on there. So they've been doing Persona music shows or super lives for a very long time. The names kind of change or move around. So like this one's technically not super live anymore. But what's funny is the art and the guest list and everything for our 2026 one is basically a carbon copy of the Persona Live 2024. So ours is called Persona Live 2026 Awakening, yes, and then the one in Asia was, I want to say, Evermore or something. Like there was a weird tie-in with it. Let me see if I can get the
I know what you're
logo here
talking
for it.
about.
It was More Ahead, yeah. Persona Live Tour 2024, More Ahead. And what was funny about it was when I saw the art, it had been so long that I thought it was new. So it was like, oh, sweet, new art. Because when I see the art for it, and I'll use it as the thumbnail for this episode, I was immediately
Hmm.
hit with, oh, cool, new art. Because it shows like some of the, like there's palm trees. It shows like the like
Yeah.
observation center. Like it shows some LA stuff there that would make you think that. But no, the like character art of Morgana, the Persona 3 and 5 protagonists, and Aegis,
And I guess. Yeah.
it's like,
No,
okay.
I caught it immediately.
It was like, oh, it's the one from 2024. And then my first thought when I saw the artwork was, fuck, no P4. Like, no P4 at all. And with the guest list, it does make sense because it's the exact same from 2024, which was after. So, this is the funny thing about the Persona Live from 2024. It was released after P3R, but before the release of episode Aegis. And we'll get into
Hmm.
like that with some of the tracklist stuff because I am curious about how much of a one for one it is. Because man, I won't be disappointed because like obviously I wasn't there for any of the other shows in Asia, but I really, really hope they don't just make this a extension of that 2024 tour and do everything one for one, because that would be a little lame.
Or even worse, not even do an extension, just do the exact same thing.
No, that is true. That that is also true. So for the track list, or not the track list, so for the guest list, we've got Lin from Persona 5, we've got Azumi from Persona 3 Reload, we've got Lotus Juice, who does all the vocals from Persona 3 and has written a bunch of songs from Persona 5, and then we've got Konishi, who is the composer from a bunch of Atlus games as well as does the guitars, as well as I will say this is a weird one. I'm surprised they brought over because you mentioned visas earlier. The fact that it's like also the live dance team is a weird one. I'm like, dang, that's like a bunch of extra people just for dancers. Like I'm kind of, I don't know
I
if,
know.
yeah, I don't know what would be harder, having to get them all to fly cross country, or then probably having to hope that a bunch of people in the West could learn this for one show.
Or, well, three technically.
Yes, and so that goes into the other thing. So when this was announced back at Anime Expo, we knew they were doing a show in January and it was only in LA. And then when
Yep.
the show got announced on Monday, it was announced it will be for one day only, January 24th at 3 and at 8, which actually made me feel pretty hopeful because I was like, okay, I know tickets are going to go fast. I'm not sure how fast they're going to go, but more shows means more chances to get tickets at least the base price, which I think is a good thing. As we'll talk about later with the actual act of getting tickets, I don't think anyone was expecting them to sell out in like 10 to 15 minutes, as what ended up happening. And this was just for the
Right.
pre-sale. So a third show was added, and it's on a new day. So the first show technically was added after the first two showings had sold out, and that was for January 23rd at 8 p.m. And so it was really funny because when that third show got added, I probably got hit up by like 15 to 20 people who were like, "Did you see this shit? Did you see they fucking added another show?" And in my head, like, I get it because it's like that thing of, yeah, it's a little weird they added it at an earlier date, but like I'm not gonna lie, the old man in me is kind of like I kind of would I'm like because my tickets and same with yours, like we've got the 3 p.m. show, which was originally going to be the first showing.
Yep.
I wanted the 3 p.m. show not only because it was first, but because it was earlier in the day. And the fact that it's like we are most likely going to get first dibs at merch, which is cool, but not the end of the world. But it's like we have all day to get ready for a 3 p.m. show. And then once it's done, we can just have the most fuck it, chill out dinner of all time. And it's not like 12 or 1 o'clock in downtown LA.
No. I mean, we could still stay out that late because we had such a good time.
No, exactly. But it's that thing where it's a little bit
But yeah,
different
it's
when it's a late concert because it is that thing where some people might be tired, some people might want to go or have a
yeah.
longer drive. Like the chance of keeping a large group of people together after a 3 p.m. show is a lot easier than after like an 8 p.m. show on a Friday when
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people who are coming in out of town like you and I are probably just booking their flights for Friday to Sunday.
I might stay a couple days longer because I'm planning on taking that entire week off
Oh,
from work.
nice.
So
So,
but also like we were thinking, we do the 3 p.m. show, and then we can like and like before and after, we literally just hang outside the theater, kind of have like our own mini because obviously there's going to be a lot of like cosplayers, very likely. And so we have our just like our own little, cosplay gathering, cosplay shoot, and just, generally just chill out. Maybe maybe even stay outside the theater and like try to hear the vibration, like the muffled like sound of the 8 p.m.
feel the
show. Probably not.
beats.
Feel the beats. Like I was seeing. So going back to you to Oasis, I was seeing videos when they were in Asia, when they were in South Korea and Japan. I was seeing videos of like fans just hanging out outside the venue where they were performing and just taking in the sound from outside. It's all about that, just hanging out, having a good time, just chilling out, vibes. buzzwords here and there. I'm
you
just
were
saying.
literally just sitting there feeling the metaphorical Wonderwall.
Well, no, I was actually there.
In
I was actually
in
there, but
spirit and vibes.
yeah. Um, don't ask how much I paid for that ticket. It was way more than Persona, that's for sure. Um, but the point is, like having that 3 p.m. show is actually really. Point is, having that 3 p.m. show is kind of a blessing as well because, like you said, don't have to stay out, worry about like staying out too late or getting tired. Um, Granted, it gives you maybe a bit less time to get ready because it's early, but it's not too late in the afternoon. And it just in the words of I'm just saying words now. I'm sorry. In the words of Todd Howard, it just works.
I gotta say, I have a lot of different feelings about the event in general. All very positive. I've been at a very high because like my biggest fear when this got announced on Monday, as I'm sure you can appreciate as a fellow brokey yourself,
Mhm.
I was, oh man, dang, real missed potential by the way for a banger tweet. But like, I really should have posted that picture or that clip of D being like, "What? It's 2025 and you're all in your 30s. What do you mean you don't have enough? You don't have $300 between four adults?" Should have just been like me and the homies trying to justify going to LA for a fucking concert. But the thing about
Wouldn't be
it,
the first time.
no, it will not be the last either. But what's so funny about it is like I I haven't had a chance or a concert like this, like a legitimate chance of like seeing all these people perform, or even some of them, in so long and in like an official ass way. But what's funny is like I think back into some of like the earliest days of like when I started doing SMTN, and I go back to that infamous TaioCon concert in 2014, where on a whim, I was like, I knew about there was this local small convention who I'd gotten either some ads or people in our Facebook group were talking about it, and they were like, holy shit, for the first time ever, the vocalists from Persona 3 and 4 and Lotus Juice were going to be there performing in America for the first time, and it's at this fucking random anime convention in Arizona. And I was like, I'm from fucking Arizona. I should just go down there and do it. And I ended up going on a complete whim. And what was so funny about that show was like, I kid you not, the amount of people I met at that show that I still talk to on a daily basis, who I either met for the first time or met in person for the first time and still talk to, was so funny. Of like, it was just that perfect thing of really excited to be there for the show, but then getting to finally meet all those like mutuals or people that you interact with online. It just really paying off. And I mean, I had that as well with the Anime Expo show, but the Anime Expo show was a
Hmm.
little bit different for me, I think, because things were so segmented in terms of it being tied to the convention, and it's such a big convention. It was a little bit harder to like have a good meetup spot without really feeling like you were running late. And then this one, like I said, being on just straight up its own event, makes me so excited thinking about what we can do before the show, after the show, or even hanging out days after it. Just
Yeah.
making me so excited about that.
Well, also, like, it still might be a challenge because considering where it is, one of the most tourist heavy spots in LA.
Oh, for sure. And but I mean, at the same time, it is that thing where it's like it's January, not really the most popular time for LA, so like it will still have a
That's
lot of
true.
people, but like I think especially because we were going into this of like, Atlus, when the fuck are you gonna announce this? There is also a part of me though that's like, I'm at least glad it's in January. Plane tickets aren't the most expensive to get out there. Uh, at least like for me, where I'm at, like, and you and I being in the Midwest, like like I haven't looked at the price of these tickets and been like, holy fuck, I'm never going to recover from this. Like, all in
Yeah.
all, I feel very confident in the fact that like I will spend way less money going to this concert than I would have if I went to Anime Expo last year.
No, very true.
I will say though, because I don't want to lean on it too much, but the guest not being there, I do want to say, making me feel very justified in that concert 11 years ago because Shihoko Harada from Persona 4 and Yumi Kawamura from Persona 3 not being there really blows. Not in the sense of like, oh, it blows because they're just not going to be there in general, but like, man, I don't know why my gut was really telling me. I was like, January. It's the start of 2026. 2026 is the 30th anniversary of the series. I was like, if there was ever a chance we were going to get everyone there, I would have fucking
Hmm.
lost it. But, like, it is one of those things of, like, it sucks. It doesn't mean it'll never happen. But, like, I think of that video. I forget the name of it exactly. But, like, man, what I wouldn't give to see in person that like day life melody mix that they did, that one Persona, I think it was like either 2017 or maybe the 2019 show, but like whatever
I think that's
Persona.
2017.
Yo, you're right, it was the 2017 one because I remember it was included in the dancing games, but where they did that medley with all of them singing and kind of laced in with each other live of their songs with all three of the vocalists of like singing like
Yeah.
the social. I'm like, oh my god, what I wouldn't give to see that live would be insane. But also at the same time, I have literally never seen Lynn live, and I've never seen obviously a lot has been a lot less present with Reload, but I would love to see Azumi live as well. Like Lynn
Hmm.
more so like unsurprisingly, not because I don't like Azumi more, but like I have listened to so much more of her music in the last 10 years that it's like holy
Oh
shit.
yeah.
Like the problem with Lynn will be there are going to be songs that are not going to be performed that I'm going to be like, god damn, man, why didn't they fucking play this song, why didn't they play that? Whereas like any song I hear from Azumi, I'm going to be like, oh cool, I can't wait to hear this, like that'll be great.
Yeah.
But like for you,
I mean,
how do you feel about the absence of OG P4 and P3 representation?
it's definitely a bummer. Um, but uh, I guess I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible when I say something's better than nothing. So I guess I'm just glad to have this concert at all. Even if they, even if I guess we're not getting the full experience, this so to say. Um, but yeah, I'm just happy we're getting it at all,
I
and I
will
just
say
hope this
I will say
concert's good.
though, especially because getting this in an official way really does go a long way because I've seen Lotus Juice perform live like solo or with other people before, but like when
Hmm.
you see the like size and the scale of the production, like not just the hey, like obviously it's not just the actors the singers and the performers on a stage with a microphone. Like when you see the videos, the lights, all of the stuff that they have lined up that they do and the performances, like the dancers, the outfits, etc, like when I've watched those live streams or the recordings of the live concerts for it, I'm like, man, like there's a reason I want to go to this. Like, and there've been plenty of other video game like concerts that I could have seen or wanted to see in the past. Like a great
Hmm.
example, like I love Square Enix music. Like I'll go to Square Enix concerts when I have the chance, but like when I'm going to a like when I'm going to a Distant Worlds or like something like that, like that's playing Final Fantasy music or if it's playing Kingdom Hearts music, I know it's awesome, but it is that thing of like it's a very different event versus something like this where it's like it's very high energy. There's a lot of songs, there's a lot of people singing, like having light sticks, like it feels like a big group production, which it's that thing of like I love all music equally, but like do you know what I mean of like I can enjoy on a same level but on entirely different reasons like an orchestra show versus like a big heavy like big music arena show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I get what you mean.
And so like having something like that is is just going to make such a big difference. And having the chance to see that, and especially so many of these people I haven't seen, like literally the only person that's going to be there that I've ever seen perform live will be Lotus Juice, and most of the songs he'll be playing are songs
Same.
I've never heard him play. Because I forget, you saw him, because I think it was when you were first on the podcast, but it was when he went to what,
Yep.
Anime Midwest, or where did he go for you?
No, it was Anime Central,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
2024. Yeah, 2024.
And it's that thing where, and I'm sure it's changed a lot more over the time with it, but it'll be such a night and difference thing of like where you saw him for ASIN versus seeing him in this.
Yeah.
It'll just be, it'll be like damn bro, that's where that's the difference between an
What an
ASIN
upgrade.
ticket or not.
It's like, man, you go from performing in a conference room or a ballroom to the Dolby Theater. What an
Yes.
upgrade.
Yeah, well, and that's always what I thought was so funny, especially when I saw them back even in 2014 perform, of like they were performing in such a small like conference room theater, and I'd like seen the videos of like literally, because like I don't know like the head counts of like what the super lives end up getting attendance wise, but it literally looks like tens of thousands of people in a room, like they look fucking massive. So
Nah, it looks huge.
it's that thing where it's like, oh man, if only it could be us. And it is wild to think that like for as long as I've been a fan of these series and I've been begging like for them to finally have one of these here, it's weird that it took this long. Like it's so funny. Like you think of all the other like video game shows and concerts that have been around for so many years, and I'm like, dang, and like we're just now getting this for the first time feels absolutely surreal, you know?
Yeah.
So one of the things I want to talk about before we get into, because there's a couple different things I want to talk about just in the last week alone, which is so funny. Like we're literally having an entire episode about something that will, spoilers, I'm sure, be its own fucking episode. Um, the thing I want to talk about for it was a big complaint people had on top of them just straight up announcing this randomly on a Monday with no pretense or warning for anyone. And there was a similar feeling with Anime Expo and the SMT concert, but that one being limited to LA, I kind of chalked up more to it being a AX event. I'm like, okay, yeah, it sucks that they're only doing this concert at one place, but when I was talking to the team behind it, one of their big things was like, hey, this is a big test for us. Like, we want to see if we can make this a thing.
Yeah, that
How,
makes sense.
because like that was the team who did the Sonic Symphony stuff. I think the problem
Hmm.
is, and why we never saw it really hit the road like Sonic did, was the Sonic tour was so successful that they just kept adding more shows to it. It never got to a point where, okay, well,
Yeah.
these would be the people doing the Sonic tour are the same people who would be doing the SMT tour. And because the Sonic tour was blowing up so big in 2023 and 2024, there's no time for them to really do it for SMT anymore. That that never really kind of ended up becoming something. But then you look at with Persona, and I'm like, get
Well,
I get that they would
I would
want to
also like to
have.
add.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I would also like to add also, um, just overall, I feel like Sonic is more of a surefire hit than say Persona.
Oh, 100%. For like mainstream
So
Western
that
culture, yes, yes, yes.
yeah. So obviously that just Sonic having that more cultural ubiquity compared to Persona, I'm sure that really helped. And it,
Which is wild, by the way, because remember, I don't know if you paid attention to it, but do you remember last year they announced that Sony like orchestra tour that was going to happen in 2025?
Sony like
Okay, great
Sony
news.
specifically.
So yes, so last year, or getting ready for, no, because it was, yeah, last year, because it was around when they announced the like PS5 Pro and the 30th anniversary stuff. Sony announced they were doing a worldwide orchestra tour for PlayStation, 30 years of PlayStation. That
Hmm.
show bombed so hard and undersold and underperformed so many times in Europe that just in the last month they have canceled every single remaining tour, and almost the entirety of it was the North American tour.
Wow.
And that's for PlayStation. That's for fucking like people going like, do you want to hear the fucking Last of Us? Do you want to hear like Horizon? They didn't do this, but hey, you know what would have sold a lot more tickets? You want to hear fucking Bloodborne music live? Like that shit wasn't enough to like have a successful tour run, let alone finish a successful tour run. And yeah, like going back to I would say 2025 feels like it's been such a make or break year for tours and artists in a way that we haven't seen in
Yeah.
a really long time just because people's finances and their time and how they spend it are so tight and such a precious resource these days that even if I'm being honest, if I was even Atlus, I don't even think I would have committed to doing more than one location. I think doing multiple shows at one location for this is smart, but doesn't hold anything back from it because like you look at all these giant bands, groups, or tours, or even performances that are happening around the world right now, and you see one of two things. This is what happens to a show in 2025. Tickets go on sale and they either sell out immediately or it's a fucking ghost town and they have to cancel it because they don't sell enough tickets.
Yeah.
Which sucks because that's not like we still live in a world where it sucks that you go to that clip of fucking um, Nirvana and them talking about ticket prices in 1995. And they'd be like, fucking $80 tickets? What the fuck? Like, $80 tickets is such a novelty now. Like, concerts have gotten so crazy with how a lot of them get priced or like resold on the market and stuff where it's like the concerts I felt like
Hmm.
back in the day used to be that thing where it was like anyone can go to a concert. If you want to go like the biggest hurdle to seeing an artist perform live was never the price, was are they going to be in your
It
area?
was going outside.
Well,
It was going
yeah,
outside and getting in line.
exactly. It was never like a Herculean effort. Like the way people talk about fucking getting Taylor Swift tickets like they're surviving World War III. Like it shouldn't be that fucking rough out there just to see someone perform live or cost so much money.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a problem that's going to get fixed anytime soon, but also at the same time I will say,
Oh no, it's just gonna get worse.
yeah, at the same time, that was one of the biggest things that were stressing me out about getting tickets for this because there were two things we didn't know for sure when tickets got announced. We knew when tickets were going to go on sale. We knew there was limited seats. We knew there was limited like amount of show times, but also like I was
Hmm.
messaging you. I'm like, dude, I don't even know how much fucking money this is going to cost. Like no one even knew what the cheapest seat would be because like my thing for a show like this, I'm like, I'll take the fucking nosebleeds. Like I'll take whatever seat I can get. Obviously,
Oh yeah.
A, if I can afford it, but also B, like I just want to be there, and if I can get anything at all. But it like because of where it was at and anything, like I was ready, like legitimately, like I was ready for like the cheapest seat to the show being like $200 to $300.
I didn't expect that. Or at least not from buying directly from them. I expected that from the resales and the scalpers, and oh boy, I was way off. Well,
You better want 800. You better want $800 to $1,000 orchestra seat tickets. That's what you better have.
I saw a ticket. I think this one was a joke though on a resale site. There was a ticket on sale. It was Mezzanine 2 for $16,000, but I'm pretty sure that one was a joke.
It's yeah, it's wild. Like for you at least, then what were you either thinking tickets might be before we kind of had that price breakdown? Because we did eventually end up seeing like tickets will range from 50 to 250 for the concert. But like before we knew that, like what were you kind of thinking? Like what was your like worst case scenario you were thinking might end up happening?
Um, I expected at worst, or at least I expected like um the lowest price would be around maybe 50, um which actually was cheaper than that. So I was kind of surprised. But I was going off of what I remember paying for the SMT concert, and that was like what I know, like different circumstances, different venues, stuff like that. But do you happen to remember what the highest price for the SMT concert was?
I do because I fucking paid him. I don't have it pulled up right away. Let me just pull it up because I still have the email. So here we go. We'll do SMTAX concerts because I bought that was one where that was announced with enough warning, and I had money that I was like,
Yeah.
okay. I knew they had mentioned that there was going to be a thing. Here we go, because we bought them through show clicks. So I bought VIP lounge tickets. The most expensive tickets of the show were. Well, it's showing me my ticket. Let's see if it'll show me the total. VIP pit show plus also. Here we go. It was $250 a person.
Oh wow, that's isn't that what the most expensive ticket here was
Yeah, no, it was.
for
Which
Persona Live?
which which is funny because my biggest worry for this was I don't think that they're going to do anything like a VIP experience like they did for AX, just because that was obviously a lot easier to probably do. And I think there may have been like
Yeah.
100 of us, if not less. No, it was 200 because I remember they were handing out those Nahabinos there. But
Hmm.
that was one where I was like, oh fuck, because if there is a VIP thing, I'm gonna really want to go. But if there's not, I don't give a shit about my ticket. Like my worry was like, oh, there might be something I'll have really wanted to go and do.
Yeah.
So I was glad, at least for this, ironically, that there was not one. Even though I really liked the experience for the SMT concert, I was like, I do not need this again.
Yeah. I can't imagine they would like announce it or announce a VIP experience like after the fact.
No, especially not at this point. So we're definitely in the clear.
Yeah. Because like I remember like for the SMT concert, I bought my ticket like 4 months like before the actual show, and now it's like 2 months notice.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially with like for my tickets that I ended up getting for the Saturday show, I was about and it's always weird because it did Ticketmaster this time, so of course we have to pay about 40 fucking dollars in fees. But I
Minimum.
think pre-fees, I guess honestly, because I know the total, so I can just do it there. For two people around the middle section of the concert, it was under 250. And I was like, that seems fair. Because I literally paid $500. Ironically, I will have paid more money to see SMT back in 2023 than I did to see this Persona concert. Now, obviously, I'm going to be
Yeah,
way
it's the same.
farther away, but it's a totally different thing where I'm like, for me, I was like, that's fine. I was honestly ready to pay for the cheap seats. It was that thing where, like, when tickets finally went on sale, that I was
Yeah.
stricken by the thing of like, oh shit, this is cheaper than I thought it would be. How close should I sit? Because I was like, I know I'm not sitting up front, but I also am like, if I'm paying $69 and I could pay literally $120 to be halfway closer to the concert, I'd rather just do that.
Well, at least the difference between you and I is that you actually had a choice in your seat. Uh, I left it all up in the hands of my friend, and they were like, "Okay, so I got us like middle-ish row, whatever it was. It was I think it was parterre, and that was 94 each, not counting fees." And I was like, well, in my mind, I was happy. We got the seats. It's gonna be great. But in my mind, it's like, oh man, that's more than I was expecting. But okay.
I will say, because I had a couple different friends who were doing a similar thing of like having other people buy tickets and stuff like that. Because the funny thing with that
Yeah.
was I reached out to about 10 people that I was like, hey, I'm going to this. I want us to all go together. But at no point did I go, hey, let's all buy seats next to each other. Because I was like, nope. Like, if you have a friend group of like three or four, or maybe even
Yeah,
six,
three.
like.
I don't know if six, but like I
Well,
think three or
because
four is
six
like
was the
the
limit.
very
Like
max.
you could buy up to six tickets when pre-sale went up, and it was
Yeah.
that thing where I'm like, so your friend group was three?
We're three. Yeah.
Like that's manageable. My thing was like, because I had all of our friends being like, yeah, we should all 10 of us sit next together. And I'm like, that's going to be a fucking nightmare. You know what we can do? We can hang out before the show, we can hang out after the show, and we'll send pictures of how far away we are from each other. Because really, when the show's going on, we don't need to be next to each other. Would it be nice?
Yeah.
Yes. Would planning it be a complete shit show and be extremely stressful? Also, yes.
we'll just do the we'll hang out before, we'll hang out after, and then during the show we'll just we'll do the Mac and Charlie meme.
Exactly. No, and that's what I was like saying, because I'm like, would it be great if we all going to be next to each other? And like, you and your friends will undoubtedly have a better and good time being next to each other with that. But at the exact same time with it, it was that thing of like, if we had had more time to prepare more than like 48 hours, especially because getting into the shit show of no one knew what the pre-sale code was until fucking the minute it went live, which was
Really,
bad.
the minute, yeah,
But like, the thing with that is also like, okay, well, clearly none of us knew how much tickets were going to be. No one knew where we wanted to sit or how much it was going to cost to sit there. And none of my friends I was reaching out to was like, "Hey, you got enough to cover like 10 of us, right? Like you got a cool like grand in there waiting or anything?" Or like, no, like we were all fucking buying our own ticket, paying whatever one we could, or doing PayPal, paying for whatever the fuck the plan
yeah,
was. Because then the other thing was like, I think I would have trusted, if I couldn't afford tickets and I had a friend get them for me, I would have been fine with that. But like, I'm sure at least for you, I would have been the same way of like, for me, I would be fine with it, but until I knew they had tickets, the whole time I would just be like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
yeah. Especially now, thinking that now in hindsight, considering how fast the tickets went.
Yeah, it's wild because we just didn't really know like either how fast it was going to go or like what the demand was really going to be for it. So
Yeah,
I knew it was gonna be in demand, but it is also that thing of like, how many people locally are gonna see this? How many people are willing to fly out for this? Like right now, I don't know. You might be the farthest person I know flying out from it, but I mean, I know people who are coming from Canada. Well, no, that's not true. Yeah, because I know at least two people from Canada who are also going, but they're not in like my
I know one of them.
immediate
Yeah,
friend group. So it's that thing where it's like, I know people are willing to go pretty far for this, just because if we get another Persona concert, and I'm sure there probably will be another one outside of Japan
yeah,
eventually, I'm sure it's not going to be anytime soon. The only other thing that ironically could kind of be funny about it would be like, okay, the only way that there would be a weird amount of FOMO would be then if they immediately then after this show announce something for like Persona 6 or Persona 4R and are like, and come back in July for an Anime Expo mini concert. It'll be like, oh, come the fuck up. It's like, what are we
see,
doing
that's
here?
what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. I feel like there's gonna be, they might announce or make some kind of announcement. Or at least I thought that before. They said that they were doing multiple shows. So now I'm thinking, okay, they probably won't announce
No, no,
anything
Liam, you
because
don't
then
get
they
it.
would
You
have to
don't
do
get
it
it.
for all three.
Every show we have to every show and ticket we bought, we signed an NDA, so we can't announce that they showed us Persona 6 early. So you have to
That's
wait till
true.
Sunday. Then they'll show us on Sunday.
No, but I was thinking, well, yeah. Well, I wasn't thinking like game announcements specifically, although no, tell a lie, I was. But I was more thinking, um, what if they announce another show at that same at that concert?
I think,
Maybe not a tour exactly, but maybe I wouldn't
yeah,
be surprised if they just surprisingly out of nowhere, hey, did you like this? Well, guess what? We're coming back in however many months, and even better, we'll be in these cities specifically.
I think I could see them announcing more shows at the
Yeah.
concert. But I think if the only way they do it and they don't piss people off is it's either happening in 2026, but it
Hmm.
will be very shortly soon after, and the lineup will be the exact same. So it won't be like, there won't be a thing
Yeah.
of like, we're doing more shows and there'll be more songs and more people. It'll be a thing of like, hey, I hope you guys liked this. This is the first on a long tour, but we wanted to do this first and see what people think. But
Yeah.
that's hard to say. Ironically, I think it's funny that in my brain I think that's a crazier idea versus the game announcement, because like in my brain I'm just like, they have announced so many fucking Persona games. Like, there has almost never been a Persona Live that didn't have some sort of game related announcement, whether it be a mobile game, a dancing game, or like a Royal or something. So it's like, I'm sure there will be something. It just like depends on like how lucky we are, how close we are to it or whatever. So that'll be the interesting one with it of like, I'm not expecting Persona 6, but at the same time, if I see a fucking splash of green, I'm gonna fucking scream at the top of my lungs, I fucking called it.
And then it turns out to be Persona 5 X2
Oh no, coming to Switch too.
coming to Switch 2. Or who knows? Maybe we'll finally get that party game. No, nothing. No party game. Okay.
No, this is the year, Liam. We're finally gonna get the Akechi spinoff everyone forgot about. This is the
That's
year.
true.
It's finally happening.
The party game is the Akechi spinoff.
I think we've talked about that before. That's how long that dumbass rumor has been around. Where I'm like, I think we've literally joked that that wasn't the case for a while. But
I think so. Yeah.
yeah. So we've talked about tour dates, announcements. I think until we get closer, it's just a wild card with it. But I will say, for me getting tickets, my biggest point of stress was I had reached out to my group of friends, and this was when there was only the 3 p.m. and the 8 p.m. show, of,
Mm-hmm.
okay, there was no universally agreed upon time. Of like, okay, let's all do this one show. Because that would at least be the easier one to do. But then the trickier part with it was because the way tickets were selling so fast and so loose, like, I think I was sort of surprised because did you look at Ticketmaster when tickets went live, or did you just sort of like just watch the aftermath from Twitter?
Both. Because I feel like I was seeing it at different times.
So
Um,
I was surprised the 8 p.m. show was selling out faster because my initial plan was always to go for
I'm
three.
not.
So how come?
I'm not because generally people like to see concerts at night.
I guess that makes sense, but like
Even
my
video game concerts.
ironically, what ended up happening was all of my friends at the end of the day, give or take, I think like literally one of them, uh, we all ended up getting tickets for the 3 p.m. show, and it ended up being one of those funny things where it was all of it pretty near each other, no one really drastically far away. The only thing that was kind of funny was I didn't even think about this, but there was one person who reached out to me and they were like, "Oh man, I'm really excited for the show." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, me too, blah blah blah." And they were like, "Yeah, so like I got both I got both showings." I'm like, "What do you mean?" "Oh, I got 3 and 8." And I'm like, "Dude, I love Persona. I would not do back to back.
Jesus.
Back like
Fuck no.
you could maybe convince me to do Saturday and Friday if like something really crazy was
Yeah,
happening." But I'm like,
I would do Friday and Saturday,
back
but not hours apart.
yeah, back to back. I'm like, dude, honestly, especially because depending on how long the show is, you gotta imagine it's at least going to be like a 2.5 to maybe 3 hour long show. I more feel bad
I'm
for
gonna
the
guess 2 hours.
I feel more bad for the performers who are all gonna have to fucking sing their heart out from 3 to 6 at least. Let's be liberal. Let's be like 3 to 6, and then maybe have a 2 hour
Hmm.
break, and then do it all over again at 8.
I mean, the singers can have like maybe a bit more leeway if they're doing like depending on how they order the set list.
Hmm.
The musicians, though, that's a full 3 hour show set
No,
list.
yeah, that's wild, dude. But I mean, I'm sure they all fucking made bank. I know. I can at least confirm that there were no plans. Legitimately, there were no plans for the Friday show until they saw how crazy it went. But what was so funny about when they added the Friday show was the show had sold out all the Saturday shows for the most part before general admission sales went live. But I love that they
Yeah.
still tweeted about it. They're like, "Hey guys, general ticket sales are now live," and I'm just be like, "Why even tweet about this? Just be like, we're basically just advertising the resellers at that point for when you posted that."
Well, to be fair, like obviously they didn't put up all tickets for sale when they did the pre-sale. They
Yes,
left
but
some.
it
They
went
left.
so fast though.
It still went. It went so fast. Yes.
Is there like a yeah? I'm pretty sure this probably depends on like venue and stuff for it. Is there like a predetermined thing like when pre-sale tickets usually go live? Is it a thing of like, all right, we'll do like 50-50, 50 in pre-sale, 50 for general, or like how does that usually get split from your experience? Like, what do you normally see with that?
I don't know if it's 50-50, but there definitely is like they only put up only a certain number and select seats when they do pre-sale. General sale is pretty much everything else, and that usually means like the lower sections or like the back rows. They save those for the general, and they save like the higher tier stuff for the pre-sale. But um yeah, I don't really know how even the split is because it depends on a lot of things. It depends on the bookers, depends on the venue, depends on the demand. Um, so there's a lot of factors that goes into it, but generally they don't when they do a pre-sale, they don't put up every seat for sale, even though that's where I like the group, the Discord server I was in. Like we were like when we were all talking about it, like they were saying they thought there's not even going to be a general sale because they sold out everything. Like no, they didn't. There's certain seats they didn't put up for sale, they only put up for the pre-sale. um but I guess I just because I have more, I guess, more experience with uh music industry stuff or like concert industry stuff. Not saying I'm an expert or a spokesperson or anything, but um just more experience with that from uh well, from experience, but also osmosis from other people who actually are in those industries. But
I
yeah,
will I will say though, what's
it went
interesting
wild.
though, especially because I think with it being such a last minute kind of announcement, I think it's interesting when you think about the fact of the hardcore Persona fans were excited. We were paying attention. We were like,
Yeah.
we were the people who were there spamming the pre-sale link, trying to get like access to it. So I think
Hmm.
in when you look at something like for people who try to do like ticket reselling full time, it's one of those ones where you look at a show like this that doesn't come along very often sell out that fast, that due to how fast the fans, because I genuinely feel like the tickets went fast in pre-sale because there were that many fans who wanted to go. Like it didn't feel like a like, oh, the bots got it or
Yeah.
whatever. But I think
No,
you can
I was
I
thinking like
mhm.
so I was just gonna say, just to add on to that. I had a strong feeling that the demand was there for sure because when they were because jokingly when they were taking so long to announce, I was thinking, okay, either they're gonna delay it or they are super fucking confident that they're gonna sell out right away, and it ended up being the latter.
Yeah, I was definitely in the camp of like, all right, either this show gets pushed or something like scared them away to want to do it outside of January. Because like they must have had the Dolby lockdown when they announced it over the summer in AX, because like a venue like
Yeah.
that is booked months and months in advance. But
Oh, for sure.
it's interesting. It's interesting to see though that like going back to the general admission sales of things, I think because of people being like, holy fuck, pre-sale sold out that fast, that then only brought way more eyes and then way more people then hoping to like resell tickets to the GA sales. Making because if you look at it,
Oh yeah.
pre-sale was up way longer than GA. GA was empty almost immediately.
Yeah. I clocked it in at about 11 minutes for at least the 8 p.m. show, the 8 p.m. Friday show.
And then that also gets weird because remember there was technically a pre-sale for the Friday show because as soon as they had put those tickets live for Friday, the pre-sale code did work for those. So you could have
Hmm.
gotten pre-sale tickets, but that because no one was waiting for any news or announcements for it, that one was even harder to track. Of like when I saw the pre-sale thing, I didn't even look at the Ticketmaster until maybe an hour or so after it had been live, and it was just saying, "Oh well, all the seats are currently out. Wait for general sales."
Yeah.
Business
And
talk aside, you know what else is the nice part about a concert? Listening to actual fucking music.
no, you don't say. I only go there to spend $20 on a for a bottle of water.
Oh, all right. Actually, you know what? Jokes aside, we are going to push back the track list talk for one more second because there is one more thing we need to talk about.
All right.
What the fuck will the merch selection be like? Because man, let me tell you, I I would get so jealous at the Persona Live merchandise line because they were always all over the place, ranging from fucking keychains, acrylics, t-shirts, bags, sweaters. Like they were all over the fucking place of like really
Mm-hmm.
cool merch that like, and there's some really expensive con merch for it because like there's way less shows that they do over there, even though there are so many people. So I gotta ask, is there anything? Well, actually, here I want to break it up into two questions because I'm very much a basic bitch when it comes to concerts. Like I don't buy a lot of merchandise, but I
Mm-hmm.
look at what they did with like the SMT stuff, and I'm like, oh, I bought way more than I like needed to, but I was like all in for it to the point where I was like, sure, let's do it. So for you, I want to ask first question: when it comes to a concert, if any, what merch do you like to buy or what merch do you look for? And then also B, what do you hope to see at the show in LA?
So, what I like to buy. It's funny. I haven't bought concert merch in a long time. Because it's generally so expensive, and because it's like a T-shirt is $40. Um. Uh. So I kind of just am like, unless it's like a band I like. I really because I bought no. Of course, I bought an Oasis shirt. Um.
Had to.
But I had to. But I was like, but generally, like, yeah, I don't like buy concert merch as often unless I'm like really feeling the itch to. Um, but what I expect, well, t-shirts, that's probably a given. I can expect maybe if they follow like regular concert uh merch, the merch template, maybe sweaters, maybe other like apparel like hats, scarves, stuff like that. A Jack Frost hat, I can imagine. What? But aside from like clothes and apparel, I really don't know hmm, because after that it'd be because if they were to sell like you know keychains or prints or any kind of like more arts and crafts stuff like that, that's I hope that didn't sound like mean or degrading to artists like arts and crafts.
Yo, I will say though, the one I don't get offended by a lot of merch. I will sometimes get offended though by merch prices, but
Yeah,
merch that always boggles my fucking mind. So it always is like who, what, why, and what the fuck. Um, posters. People are like,
oh
"Hey, you want to hold on to this fragile piece of paper for a 3 hour show?"
yeah. No,
Posters blow
I
my
can see
mind. I'm like,
posters for
dude, what are we
sure.
doing here?
I have a crazy idea for how about flags?
Flags. So, all right, Japan. I will say this. So, like Japan, what they like to do instead of flags, I know is they love to do the like towel
Hmm.
flag. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like a
Oh yeah, yeah,
printed like it's like a printed gym towel. So I
yeah.
have
The John Cena flag.
yes, I have the. Let me see if I can copy the image and send it to you on Discord. I have the merch lineup actually from the 2024 show because there's a couple items that I was like, yo, this shit rocks. Um,
I saw it briefly.
I know you want that bucket hat. You definitely seem like a bucket hat guy.
Oh, bro.
So
Oh, I'd be mad
look at
for it, bro.
two items. The biggest ones for me, bottom left, the bag. That's like a big ass nice
Bag, yeah.
bag. That's like a $300 fucking bag, like on eBay. That bag is really expensive.
Ooh,
And I will say, while it is a bummer they are reusing art from the 2024 show, I feel like that makes it a way better chance though for us to actually get that merch because then all they got to do is just slap a new year on it.
true.
Um, the bag looks sick, and the zip up hoodie, like the all white zip up hoodie, also looks pretty cool. because it's a white
Oh, that is
Jack
very cool.
Frost
Yeah.
hoodie. You can like only see with his like little ears, as well as like there's like the Jack Frost smile on top of the hood.
That is actually really cool. I'm kind of jealous,
Um,
honestly.
but yeah, the merch was pretty solid. All the shirts honestly were pretty sweet. Um, just in the sense of I liked the like really simple design they had for the like Koromaru and Morgana stuff was pretty cool. But yeah,
Where? Wait,
nothing
where?
nothing like too drastic. So like there's a logo. It's the one on the bag, and it's used in a couple other
Oh, yeah,
places
there
as
it is.
well. They won't have any of the Nipper stuff because the Nipper things I think was like where they were performing the concerts. But like anything with
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the drawn like Morgana Koromaru stuff would be pretty cool to see. But I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Like there's I don't think there's the whole cast of both games, but they have a generally pretty large amount. It was mostly, especially because it was 2024, way more leaning into the P3 side of things. But I mean, there's still like some P5
Sure.
stuff.
I gotta ask. Top right. Is that a slap band?
No, that's the towel I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a white towel with the like design printed on there.
I see. They should do slap bands.
Slap bands, I feel, would be pretty cool. Would that sell in the year of our Lord 2026? God only knows.
Probably, probably not. But they should do it anyway.
It'd be like, hey, thanks for coming to the show. Here's our exclusive concert, silly bands. We're gonna bring we're gonna bring silly bands back.
It'd be fun though. Did
Um,
they have I'm not. I don't know if I'm seeing it on here, but did they have light sticks?
Lightstick, no. I'm sure they had like generic light sticks, or people brought them in the past. Light sticks, there have not been like official ones that I'm aware of. Do I still plan
Huh.
on bringing my SMT light sticks to this concert? You bet your ass.
Same. Oh, same. Absolutely.
I'm gonna look this up though. I'm putting in Persona official light stick. I'm like, always see them at shows. But yeah, there was a light stick in 2022, but they did not have one for the 2024 show. So if you look
Huh.
at that, oh, I forgot. At AX, they did hand out for the little Persona Lin concert they did there. They did hand out light
Oh
sticks
yeah.
for that,
Oh, they
but
handed them out.
yes,
Didn't
they
have to pay for them.
well, because it was a free show. I don't know. You may have had to buy it. You
Yeah,
may have had
true.
to pay for it, but considering it's not that expensive on there, it's literally the exact same kind of like. So if you have your SMT light stick, it's the exact same thing, except the handle is black instead of white, and the text on it just says Persona Music Experience.
Hmm.
Light stick's a little basic, but looks fine. The the one for the Persona Wish one does look cool though. The Persona Wish one looks pretty cool. Um, just making sure I didn't miss any other ones. Oh no, here's one. Although it's a pen light. Pen light may be different. The world of light sticks is a weird thing. Let me tell you. I think I know. I feel like I've seen
Yeah.
them all, and then there's just so many. They are all over the place and crazy stuff with it. But yeah, light
It's what it
sticks
is.
I would not be against. I bet you it will be there. But that's always a tricky one because then like you gotta imagine like are you a fake fan if you don't buy the light stick, or are you a cooler fan if you bring your own light stick ahead of time?
Well, going off like just other like general concerts, you're considered a fake fan if you don't buy a shirt, but you're also considered a fake fan if you wear a shirt you already had.
So all right, here's the last thing for concert merch talk I want to put out there because this one's always been a big one for me. When you are in a concert and you're buying merch, assuming it fits you and is on there, are you lame if you put it on immediately? Because I'm definitely the guy of like when I'm buying like a hoodie or if I'm buying like a sweater or a t-shirt from the concert, I'm like, all right, well I'm stripping out of whatever the fuck I'm wearing now and I'm wearing the shirt.
Um, Trying to think because I know personally speaking, if whenever I do buy like a shirt or anything like that, I usually don't put it on immediately. Not because I think it's lame or anything, just because I don't really feel the need to in that moment.
There's germs on it. It's a
Um,
dirty shirt.
yeah, the roadie germs. Um, but I don't know if I don't know if putting it on immediately is lame, or at least I don't think it is.
It's neutral. Neutral appreciation.
You're in. I mean, some people say it's lame. I don't really get why, because you're you're kind of like in a good, like, you should, you think you're in a good, you're in a neutral zone, you know, neutral appreciation zone for, because you're seeing the band everyone likes. You're So what if you put on their merch as soon after right after getting it? Some weird form of concert elitism. I don't know.
We got to be honest. If you're going to a concert, a Persona concert, you're a fucking nerd. Like all
Oh yeah.
the allegations will be
Oh, for sure.
unbeatable. You are big weeb status unlocked to the potential. You and I are flying a fucking across the country. You have committed more time and life energy to this country just to see this one show. Doubly so if you're
Yep.
cosplaying, I will think you are cool. Also a big nerd.
Oh, I
Like
am cosplaying.
there's no way to defeat the allegations of nerddom when you're fucking dressing up as Joker from Persona 5.
Can't wait to see your Sojiro cosplay.
Oh man. I've I've got my outfit picked out. It will not be a cosplay, but I do have it peak LA weeb energy. I will be maximalizing like I will be the least desirable man there. I can 100% guarantee that. I will be very uncool.
I'll probably be Junpei.
So
I'll be the man.
all the boring stuff out of the way here. We're gonna go to the music talk. So we were talking about
Yes, my specialty.
everything's looking like it's coming up Millhouse. I'm being I don't know if this is optimistic, but I feel like a lot has happened in the world of Atlus since their last show. And even though they are using the same art, like the same key art from 2024, I don't think it will be a one for one copy of the track list. What about you?
Uh, well, first off, do you know? Didn't they have like different set lists for the when they did it in 2024?
Do you mean like each day or like how so?
Yeah, like each show have like a different set, or did they have like the same set list every time?
Normally, no. It's been a while, so I'm only going off the track list of the CD. So I don't think it was any different. The only times they've ever done different track lists is when it was a multi-day concert. So like if you remember the 2017 show, that one actually in the 2019 show, the 2017 and the 2019 show were like 2-day concerts because there were different performers. So
I see.
they've done that in the past, but for this it should just be if whether you're seeing it Friday, Saturday at 3 or 8, it should be the exact same experience because that's how it was at least in
I
2024.
Yeah.
The only
Well,
difference I could
it
see,
should be.
the only difference I could see is because they did also do a later tour in Taipei. They did perform it in October in Taipei, but that one didn't have any new songs. So the only thing I could be like maybe the order would be different, but that would be the only thing I could imagine changing at all because it's literally all the same
I can't
production
imagine.
company.
I can't imagine them changing the order. If they keep the same set list, which I'm sure they will, I can't imagine them changing the order either, because why would that would just unnecessarily complicate things.
So for you though, looking at the I have the list pulled up here. Do you want me to send you over the 2024 track list, or are you good?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm actually preparing something myself.
okay. So when I was looking at the track list for the last couple of years, because my big thing with this show, like I mentioned, I've never seen Lynn live perform any of the songs. I'm gonna be honest. There's like maybe 5 songs from OG Persona 5 I want to see played there. Like most of
Hmm.
the songs I want to hear played are from all the fucking spin-off games. But like,
I could probably guess what those 5 are.
well, what's so funny is like for me, I was sort of surprised by a couple different things. Like number one, they played not one but 2 songs from Tactica. I'm like, okay. And it's not the songs you would like think it would be, but I'm like, I'm surprised you played any songs from Tactica. Like Truth or Dare being there, I thought was wild. As well as the fact that the
Roach in Your Heart, hell yeah.
uh, like what was another one here? There was another Tactica song. They had like specifically the Beneath the Mask version from Tactica. I'm like, man, what a random pull that is.
Wow.
But the songs that I'm like, listen, if I'm allowed any carte blanche here, like what do I want to have happen? I've got 3 top picks that I'm like, this needs to happen. Especially just because I think they have a unique opportunity of things they could do. Number one,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go from most realistic to most insane. Number one, they need to play the ending theme to Persona 5 Strikers, the end credits theme. Now, why do they need to do
Ooh.
that? Because that is the first and only time Atlus has ever done this. And this was so weird that they did this for Strikers because it was not the game like not like they've never even done this for a mainline game. Persona 5 Strikers was the only time they wrote a English version of the end credit song, still performed by the main artist, just for the Western version. So it's the same song, but
That's
it's
right.
English lyrics for Strikers, and it's a different song. So it'd be like that would be sick because that was a song exclusive to the West. That would be really cool to see performed there, and
Mm.
everyone who's written and did anything with it is there. So I'm like, that would be really really cool. Number two,
Hmm.
just give me a bone, fucking play any song or remix or even the opening. You could do the opening song. The ending's a little bit lame, but the opening full version of any song from Persona 5 Dancing is a banger. Like it,
Oh yeah.
you or at the very least the opening song I feel like has to be a must in there. But it was not there in 2024, very surprisingly. Um,
Hmm.
the final one that I'm like, listen, if you want to do this, it'll be cool because it will acknowledge the elephant in the room, which I know everyone loves posting the elephant image now. But
Yes.
they should have like during an interlude or an aside, bring Lotus Juice on stage and say, "Hey everybody, hope you're enjoying the show. You look real sweaty right now." And he's gonna say, "I couldn't help but notice there's a real lack of yellow right now for this concert." And he doesn't bring out the vocalists because that would be insane. They're probably not going to hide one of the vocalists for this concert. That would not happen. And if it did, that'd be fucking insane. But there is a solo song that he could do. He could do Backside of the TV. He has a solo version of Backside of the TV that he could do there,
Yep.
which I think would go a long way.
You know,
Because it's like, that song's a banger. People like Backside of the TV.
well, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. You're saying that's like your craziest pick?
I feel like it's the craziest in the sense of there's no reason to include a random P4 song, but like my guts like you have to acknowledge that people are wanting Persona 4 song, especially because like 2024 you didn't need to include P4. P4 had nothing relevant going on. Like fucking we literally have a remake of this game that got announced this year. Like you have to include something.
Yeah. Well, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I can see why you think it is crazy because if they're going off of what they did in 2024 and just having mostly, songs from Reload and then the 5 uh canon, I guess it would make sense. Though if they were to have like, okay, say so here. I'm going to send you what what used to be my dream, but also what I thought the set list would be until everything, came down. This is how I think they would do. And if you look at the second image that I sent you on Discord, you can see a spot for Lotus Juice specifically. I included Backside of the TV. I think he would play that because if, say, he gets his own section in the middle of the show, to do just songs either by himself or with a featured vocalist, he would probably open with Backside of the TV because that's what he did at ASEN. Just start playing it, and then just have the track go while he sings, and that absolutely blew up the entire room because before that he was playing his like solo stuff. He did the song he did for JoJo, or was it JoJo, or
Yeah,
yeah,
he did.
JoJo.
He did a song for
Um,
JoJo. He has a Soul Eater song that's
JoJo,
also pretty popular as well.
yeah, and then he did 3 Persona songs, and so which at Ascend they were, if I remember correctly, Backside, Deep Breath, and Mass Destruction. Obviously they're gonna do Mass Destruction early, but I was actually kind of basing this set list on how, of all things, it's funny that we keep coming back to this, on how the Oasis set list has been for
Everything comes back to
this reunion
Oasis.
tour. No, it is because you have song, like, you start out with certain songs that you would expect. I think they would start out with Aria of the Soul as like a little instrumental opening, and then they would launch into the opening the intro or the opening themes. Of course, I like, you can see I included P4 songs, but those might have gotten Thanos away with how with how this concert might go. But you can see I included after the ones you would expect. So like after Burn My Dread, Pursuing, and then Last Surprise, Reach Out, Mass Destruction. I included some Strikers songs. I included Persona Q. My one. Okay, so my one. I'll ask you after this, but if I get to pick one song to be added from any of the games that I want to hear, Laser Beam. I want to hear Lotus Juice say "Beam that laser."
Laser Beam's a solid one. I gotta say, because this is a weird one. I don't think you have it on there. All right, you do not have Iwatodai Dorm, correct? Okay, no, I'm looking at it. I do not see it.
I do not know.
Okay, that's
That
one
would be that'd be a wild pick.
that's one that's on the 2024 track list, and I heard that live. Okay, this is weird because I am a P3 Reload soundtrack defender. That is a song that
Oh, so am I.
that is a song that only works when you're playing that game. That song sucks in terms of a song that you hear live. Like, I do not want to hear Lotus Juice rhyme Wednesday with Wednesday. And I'm like, there are so many better
Minding
solos.
my biz. Mind your own biz.
Like, fucking that track being included is mind-boggling to me. Now, I'm only gonna chalk it up to the fact that like the game wasn't that old when they put it out there, so maybe they were like, "Oh well, we don't want to hide all the gas over over having Iwatodai Dorm," because like I'm like that's fine, but like that's one of those songs that I'm like, dude, like out of all the original songs, like that song does not need to be on there. But like the biggest glaring omission that I even notice in your list, what's the
Okay.
one game that could be here that's not anywhere on your list?
What did I? Let's see. What did I miss?
You got no episode Iga songs.
Oh,
Like, and I'm gonna
okay. To
tell you,
be fair, I think
I'm gonna tell you right
To
now.
be fair, okay. In my defense, um, this when I made this list, this particular list I made after the announcement, but I already had previously made a full like playlist um of songs, like what I thought my dream Persona set list would be before they announced the concert, and also did that before episode I guess, but also even before Reload came. So
Uh,
in my defense,
okay, because I'm gonna
this
say
technically predates episode I
there's
guess.
one song like if you have to include any song from Reload, my number one that I'm like, okay, well, if you don't include this, you're literally a bad person. I don't think it's the best song in the soundtrack, but I'm like, it works so well because it is the battle theme. Don't is so great, and I've never heard it performed live, and I'm
Yeah,
like, that would be awesome. The other ones, like if we're getting
Don't would be great.
crazy and we're allowed to include multiple songs, I would say biggest of shoutouts I would want to hear in no particular order. Don't for sure.
Hmm.
Brand New Days, the reloaded version, and specifically, and I don't think they will because this one, the original hits so hard, but already we're not doing the original because it's the reload version. I really like the Living with the Determination version
Just
of Kimino. Like I think that version of Kimino with like that arrangement is so good
yeah,
that I would really like that. But knowing my luck, like the only song we'd get would be Disconnected, which is fine. The opening movie track is fine. It's just like out of the whole soundtrack is probably the most boring one for me. But like at the very least, I'm like, man, even if they keep the set list completely the same from 2024, I'm like, they better include at least one fucking song from episode Aegis, because that literally has 20 fucking songs of bangers in it.
true. I'm surprised. Comparing. Sorry, I'm looking at the 2024 set list again. I'm surprised to see Deep Breath, Reincarnation like as the closer. I would expect. I would
You gotta
expect.
chalk that up to that's got to be recency bias, right? Like that's not like, and I mean, I don't know, because I'm even in other funny ones where like I'm stuck between. I think picking P3 songs is going to be extra hard, just because there are
Oh yeah,
ones where I'm like I like Mass Destruction, but then also at the same time I'm like I think the Fez version is better. Whereas like okay, well like which one do you do? Like the
you're
Fez
wrong.
Reload version, or do you do the Mass, or do you do the regular Reload version? Like that'll be a weird one where it'll be interesting to see like which ones they pick for which. Uh, but that being said,
I would I would assume any three songs they would be doing the reload version, just for having um oh shit, I forgot her name. Azumi. There you go. Just for the fact that they have Azumi there, I feel like any P3 song they do, they're gonna do the reload. Just
well, no, but
it makes
because
sense. Like
there is also differences in the arrangements between her version in Reload and then her version also in the because in episode I
that's
guess
true.
some of them they change the names to call them Fez versions. It's very weird. They go like all over. They're not
Hmm.
very consistent with it. Because ironically, I actually don't like the Fez version. Like PS2 Fez Mass Destruction, I think is a worse version than original Mass Destruction. Looking at the track list, one I am shocked is not there. How in God's green earth name was I don't know, maybe it got like bullied into existence because it was like in way too many songs or tours before. No River in the Desert is a little surprising
That is a bit surprising.
because I feel like in terms
Yeah.
of
So I'm one to talk. I'm one to talk. I left it out of mine
it's
list as well.
it's like I feel like when P5 came out, that was the one song everyone was like, "Well, this is the cool song to pick." And it's like because like you look at Persona 5 Dancing and they include three fucking remixes of that one song in there, and I'm like, yeah, it definitely got a little bit too much. But at the same time, it's like, what are we? What are we doing not including it? Like there are, and I mean there are inclusions of P5 songs, especially P5R songs, are very good. Like if they didn't have I Believe, we would just burn the building down. Like I Believe has to be there.
True. No, if I'm being honest, um, I'll I'd remove no more what ifs and put in
Oh
Rivers in the
no,
Desert.
go no! I was literally just about to glaze that song. I was like, dude, the fact that they include such a slow song like No More What Ifs, I give them bonus points for that. Like No More What Ifs is up there with me, like Color Your Night. I need those slower, chill songs. You get rid of fucking like the meaning of armbands before you get rid of fucking No More What Ifs.
Yeah, that's fair. But also the meaning of our man's is a 1 minute like interlude track.
And I'm getting every one of those seconds back if it's the last thing I do. I will. I'm literally up there. No More What Ifs and I Believe are probably my favorite. Which is funny because I said I didn't need a lot of vanilla P5 songs. Those are probably top five best Lin songs in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean I still like no more what ifs to be clear. I'm just saying. I have
There,
preferences.
there will be no more what ifs about all the threats I will be putting out there if they cancel that song.
Although
Um,
I want to say, do you like what I had? I was saying, I thought Deep Breath, Reincarnation as a closer was a little odd. Did you see what I had as a closer?
so would the closer for you be the end of what's on the encore list then?
Yes.
Okay. I appreciate the inclusion of the Junes theme. My only question is, do you commit to the bit and do you do the one with vocals?
Yes.
Okay. I think in a world where you include multiple Persona 4 songs, yes, that works. In a concert like this, you may get tomatoes. Be like, imagine the only P4 song the whole show had was the Judas theme.
I was built. See, I was also building. I should also mention I was building this set list based off of songs I knew they had performed live, at least from the live albums that were available on Spotify. And I did see in the, I believe it was the 2017 one, they did do the June S theme, but not as a closer. It's more like in the middle, I
Yeah,
think.
that was like I saw that one live. That one was a funny one of like them playing that was great, but that was also like such a random like goofy song.
Yeah. So if they
Uh,
did, if if crazy if crazy idea they did decide to do it, they probably wouldn't do it as the closer. But I think if they did, I would be the only person laughing.
that'd be like a good interlude song. Like if they're taking a break like halfway through, I would say like
Sure,
that's a good one.
better
Another funny one
better
that would
interlude than
probably
armband.
yes, another one that I think would be funny because they have done this live before. I think they only did it 1 year though. They did do the full version of Tanaka's theme live, and that one was very funny to
Oh,
see.
oh, I think that's also on one of the live albums. I couldn't tell you which one though, but I think I did see it. Now, what if a massive sneak? They include a P3P song.
P3P, if it gets a single song, the entire building will erupt in cheers. I think that'd be sick. The problem is there's no one to sing it there. Which again, that's one of those ones where it's like you'd have to bring Yubi, and
I
it's
mean,
like okay,
Azumi could
she could, but
sing
like
it. It's
the
not like
idea of her singing a P3P song, like that's like the thing you never see. That's like I've never seen those, but like obviously it happens at some shows. Like you ever see videos where people are at a concert and they're like, "Hey guys, we're at this random show in Melbourne. We're gonna play 3 unreleased songs right now." It'd be like that shit never happens to me.
I remember once I saw the Foo Fighters. They played a couple unreleased songs from an unreleased album that came out like later, like in the year. So it's not completely out of the question, but I was also thinking, they had performed Wiping All Out live before, and not with Yumi. So I can see them deciding to slot in at least one P3P song sung by Azumi.
I gotta say, another one that's kind of interesting. I was thinking about, and I feel bad for this because this is one that like it's so hard to make work. But I'm like, man, as someone who's heard it before, it's a bummer knowing realistically we will get no Persona Q songs because, dude,
Possible.
there is nothing like hearing any of the songs from Persona Q1 or Q2 live. Like those are such like a Hail Mary of a combo just for that entire soundtrack that it's like I think especially like Persona Q1 doesn't get enough love, but I think Persona Q2, the fact that it kept everyone from P3 and P4 and added Len into like one soundtrack is one of those things where it's like, man, we don't give enough credit to that. Like that's such a legit just stacked lineup of singers in one fucking soundtrack
Yeah.
for a 3DS game. It's ridiculous.
Nah, it's crazy.
Another one I gotta say that if we're allowed some flexibility, kind of going back to Strikers, I feel like Strikers is in a weird, unfortunate spot where it's like Strikers, I think, has almost more iconic battle music than OGP5 does to me, and the fact that they included almost no
Well, they just
like
have the one.
Yeah, but it's like there's no axe to grind in 2024. I'm like, how? How is there no axe to grind? How is there no Daredevil? Like, what are we doing here?
What's kind of weird. Um, I listened to Axe to Grind and What You Wish For. To me, they're the exact same song. I can't tell the difference between either of them.
What
You could play
about
I you could play either one, and I wouldn't be able to say like I wouldn't be able to tell which one it was.
it's a bummer, especially because they have some of the guitarists there for it. Another one is like there is some really good instrumental only tracks from Tactica that I think would be fun to see live, but
Yeah,
I think honestly, I think we got lucky getting two songs in 2024. The amount of people asking to hear Persona 5 Tactica music in 2026 is going to be fucking real low.
I'll be one of them at least.
That's like if you're a
I'll be the
dude.
one. I'll
I mean, listen,
if they play
you and me both. But that's the equivalent of us going to see Weezer and being like, oh man, I really hope they play Beverly Hills. Just be like, I really hope they play the one song no one wants to hear.
I hope or be no. Here's the thing. I like Beverly Hills, and I know a lot of people don't, but I know it has a couple fans. Something crazy would be, man, I hope they play the entirety of Ratitude.
Oh my.
Ratitude full album playthrough.
Oh my God. This one gets messier because the rights to the music is a little bit more tied up, but I want to give a shout out to I
The anime.
think if we had the ability to get the anime songs, I think Black Sun would be really cool to see live.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not Black Sun, Dark Sun. Same difference, but Dark
Dark Sun, yeah, Dark Sun,
Dark
yeah.
Sun is really really good. Um, I think
What was
what
the first one? What was the first intro for P5?
it was okay. I'm pulling up the song. Opening one was yeah,
Oh, break in
breaking
to break out.
break out okay. It's good, but I like the more serious tone of
A Black Sun, sure.
Black Sun a little bit
Or
more,
Dark Sun. God damn it! Now
which is funny because I was listening to a lot of Persona music recently because of all the concert stuff, and I was like, you know what's funny? I don't give this song enough props, but I'm pulling up the thing here. Colors Flying High, really good. Like that's a really good opening song. Like it's not as
a lot of people
iconic.
hated.
It's not as iconic as the Persona 5 opening, I think visually, but like as a song, it's really good. Like that's got some really good hooks in it.
That song has a lot more haters than I thought, and for the life of me, I can't really imagine why. I
Speaking
think
of
it's great.
speaking of haters, we got to get this fucking show out of here. fucking, we have decimated that 90-minute turnaround time. I gotta get you out of
Oh,
here.
all right,
We
I
gotta
just
wrap.
got a couple more questions I want to ask.
Oh yeah, go for it. Go for it.
I don't think I asked you, but so I have two questions. If you can include one song from any game, any spin-off, any anime, whatever, which one would you include? You're allowed only one.
Okay, so that really fucking sucks. I'm only gonna pick this one because it's a game, but ironically, there's a song that I would include from the anime, from Persona 4 Golden's second ending. I would pick that song, but I know realistically that song will never get performed live.
It
Uh,
doesn't matter. This is like fantasy. This is fantasy
no,
booking.
I'm
Like,
fantasy booking, but
what's
I'm
your
also like realistically, I know this would hit me a lot harder because also that I don't think they've ever played this one live. They maybe have like once. I would love to hear Caligula live. Caligula is the
ooh?
ending theme song to Persona 4 Dancing. I love that. That song is so underrated because it's like, who the fuck? Ironically, the least memorable song for most people in a dancing game is the end credits theme, but I love it. It's super
Sure.
long. It's got really good. It's got a really great chorus. Like I really love Caligula.
So it's funny that you mentioned because like yes. So I know this is like the fantasy booking part, and actually my second question was going to be now. realistically, what's a song do you think they're gonna add or play that they haven't already?
Um, if I had to pick one that they're probably gonna add, I'd probably go back to Disconnect, the opening to I Guess, where I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a skip for me. But because it's the newest opening song, I could see them want to put it in there.
Wait, did they put it in? Did they play before in 2024?
No, because that came out after the 2024 show.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because we were saying they didn't play Don't. Um, and now final question: Shadow World DD Mouse remix.
Oh, dude,
Do they
all
play it?
day. I would even to the point where instead of handing out light sticks, I would hand out harmonicas for people and broken pianos. I would hand out both of those and be like, you all know what to do when this when this song is on. I was listening to Shadow World again recently, by the way. Uh, I have never been a Shadow World hater. I love Shadow World. My
I love
only
Shadow World.
my only complaint with that song, I will say the full version, that's one of those songs that, and this is a very weird complaint anime music and video game music sometimes has. That is a song that was clearly never intended to be a 4-minute song. That is a song that was meant to be listened to as the opening to a video game and then had to get a longer version.
I kind of disagree. I think it has the full a good structure. Full. I would say the only part that maybe I can see your point is the interlude, the instrumental part in the middle. But otherwise, no, I buy that as a full song.
What about you though? What's one last thing for your question? What's the one that they add that they would never do that you want to have add, and then what's the one that they're probably gonna add that you're like,
Okay, so for the first one, that is this like fantasy, or am I thinking fantasy or realistically?
fantasy, wildest aspirations, fucking literally the composer of Expedition 33 comes out to announce this song. That's how fantasy this is.
Okay. Uh, I would say my pick's probably a bit more basic, but I love it so much, and I think if we're not gonna get, this would probably be the only representation from this game we would get. Um, Change Your Way.
Oh, that's a great song to include. That's not a basic pick. That's a good one.
No, but it's extreme fantasy though, because if they're not planning on playing even anything from Persona 4, then Persona 1 and 2 have even like less chance.
And then
Sad.
for what's the inclusion that you don't want to see there, but will probably be there.
Uh, no more what? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Won't be the. Probably will be there, but I would be like, eh. Hmm. I guess meaning of the armbands if that counts. But I'm trying to think like full song. Um. I guess. Hmm. Okay, this might be kind of an odd pick because I do love the song for sure, but I can't see myself going particularly crazy for I Believe.
I get that.
Like I said, I love the song for sure, but I don't know how hyped I would be. I guess it just hasn't quite etched itself into my DNA like other songs like Last Surprise is like basically the Wonderwall of Persona, but I would still lose my fucking shit for it.
I was gonna say that as well, but I'm like, as cynical as I can be, I'm like, damn, bro, but it's still a good song. It's like it's not even my favorite,
Yeah,
but I'm like, dude, I like you gotta include it. Like literally,
like
there's no way you don't include it.
the thing. Like here's the thing, Wonderwall. Okay, one more Oasis detour. When I saw them, of course, Wonderwall. It's like, yeah, it's everyone knows it. Most people, are like whatever. Some hate it, some love it. undeniable fact though, you see them play it live, it is fucking biblical. To quote the Gallagher's, it's biblical.
I
Just
can't
hearing
do.
an entire stadium
I would love to. Because that's one of those ones that like I can't imagine just like hearing in a giant fucking arena with a bunch of people. Like that'd be sick.
an entire like when they finish that second like verse and they just let the crowd sing the first part of the second chorus and literally every single person is singing along. Like it's life changing. I guess. Oh, actually, that's one more question I have. What do you think a song they would have just everyone singing? Like, what's the most sing along song that they would like have?
I'm gonna go off the 2024 track list just to be
Yeah,
easy, but Kimino is a
probably.
big one.
Honestly, I would say Last Surprise. Kimi no, sure.
Last Surprise is a good one. Kimino would be harder, probably just with a mostly English speaking audience, but like that's such a just singable song. Um, I think
Life will change, probably.
life will change. I could see, but yeah, the big ones that stick out to me. I think Kimino would probably be the biggest one. Uh, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot. Even like, because I'm kind of even like there with like Wake Up or Burn My Dread, but my gut just wants to say
But
Kimino for some reason. I don't know why. It's one of those ones where it's like I've heard that song in karaoke night so many times that I'm like, I feel like hearing that in a room again would be very, very cool.
yeah, I mean, well, you say a room, but think a giant auditorium,
Big old room, big old Dolby Vision, big old lot of
big old
Dolby audio.
Dolby Dolby Atmos, that Oscar audio.
Oh my God, Persona and Dolby. I can't wait to make that TikTok with you. By the way, when we get there in January, of you and me are gonna make the least requested TikTok ever of being like, oh man, I hope they play Battle. I hope they play Battle 2A. Fucking do something like that.
This is a Persona concert.
I hope they play.
Or imagine,
I hope they bring the Hungarian throat chanting. I hope they have the metaphor guy.
that's Esperanto actually.
Can't wait. Fucking.
Okay, if I remember correct. Or imagine, have you seen the TikTok of like the Expedition 33 TikTok of like they're in the baguette outfit and they're like about to um they do a pose like a threatening pose in front of like some building, usually like the Notre Dame or something like that.
I am not. I don't think I've somehow avoided. I have somehow avoided Expedition TikTok, but if you can find it, please send it to me.
Oh yeah, it's a. But imagine like we do that same. I'll send it to you and like you can see like imagine we do that same thing outside the Dolby Theater.
World record. How fast can we get banned from the Dolby Theater outside precinct?
Yeah, dressed as Baguette Al as
God.
Baguette people.
That's true. Yeah, we can say that for the 8 p.m. show. We'll save the Expedition cosplay for the 8 p.m. line. All right, Liam. I gotta get you out of here. But where can
Yeah,
people find you? What are you playing these days? What are you covering these days? What have you been up to? Where can people socially stalk you?
you could find me on Twitter at Liam_Omega, Instagram Liam_Omega 99. As for what I'm playing right now, well, I'm playing Ball X Pit. That is really fun. Highly recommend. Um, and maybe Silent Hill 2 remake if that leaked November 21st date is true. Covering not much because I was extremely busy with this other plug I want to plug. I've been working on this. So for the past couple months, I was working on this Ace Attorney fan project, which is an album. An album, a tribute album to the Gaviners band, if you're familiar with Ace Attorney,
Yeah.
specifically A4 and 5. And so we have an album pretty much done. It's being mastered, and we have bundles with CDs, art, I think acrylic stands or stickers. I can't remember exactly, but there's we have a pre-order site up. We're doing pre-orders until I believe December 28th. I could, if you want to put it in, I can send you the link to the store
Yeah, go for it.
when
I
we hop
will
off.
gladly include in the show
And
notes.
so yeah, that'll be coming out. I'm excited. I wrote one song for it, and I composed or excuse me, I composed one song and I produced that one and another, including the title track, which the album is called "Guilty as Charged," and so I'm really excited for it to come out.
I'm sad it's mostly based on 4 and 5 because I was been like, dang, it'd be a sweet name for the album. You could call it Tributes and Tribulations.
Tributes and tribulations. I think well we do have trials and tribulations as a lyric, so there is that. But it's mostly like the album is going to be mostly like love songs mixed with like courtroom lingo or
I'm ex-
legal lingo.
I'm expecting a full 19-minute symphony cover of the Phoenix Wright theme from Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That's where I'm setting the bar at.
Maybe the second album.
Yeah, sure. We gotta build up the budget for the symphony. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Exactly. And yeah, I think that's all my stuff.
All
And
right.
I hope to see you again next month for the Expedition
The
33 Awards show.
Keeleys.
I mean
The
the Game Awards.
Keeleys. Can't wait
The
for the Keeleys.
Keeleys.
No one, I'm sure, no one will be upset about whoever wins and loses this year. I'm sure there's only going to be at least 900 fandoms
Definitely.
screaming.
No, it's whoever wins. There's gonna be world peace. You'll see.
That's true. Yeah, when the Black Horse announcer ends up being Mario Kart World for Game of the Year, we're just gonna be like, what the fuck? All right, well,
or
everybody.
maybe Arc Riders.
Oh, that is true. There's time. Arc Raiders still has time. Everybody out there, thanks so much for listening to us rant, ramble, speculate. Are you going to the concert in LA? Are you saving up a GoFundMe to get some scalp tickets for $900? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoy the show, please remember to subscribe, whether it be on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, wherever the heck you listen to all of your shows. We've got the Discord, Facebook, Twitter, Bluesky, all the socially places to follow us as well. But if you're inclined and want to chuck a buck our way and help us get ready for our 19-minute symphony orchestra in 2020X, you can go to patreon.com/SMTN. Best way to support us is financially there. The dollar and up tier helps you get the show early and some other benefits, but the best tier, the most appreciated tier, is definitely going to be our $5 and up executive producers. So big shout outs to all of them, such as Aaron McNamara, Twist, John Massey, Jesus Coon, Crazy Sloth, Michael Wilson, Budweiser Tall Cans, Carlos Hernandez, Cross Renren, Winnie, Jagingus, Grosero, Solaire, Stephen Yip, and Patrick Dishart. Thank you all so much. Liam, thank you so much for chatting with me for the world's messiest 90-minute phone call of my life. We're looking at a real sloppy 2.5 hour show. Once again, proving my
Yeah,
significant other right that I am terrible at doing a show under 3 hours. So, Liam, thank you for chatting
we
with
just
me.
ramble.
Yes, I will. I look forward to seeing you in January. I'll be looking at you longingly for the entirety of the concert. So it'll be nice to see you in person again.
As will I. I hope you come say hi first because I won't be.
Yeah, I'll be in my biggest extrovert attitude that day for you, so don't worry.
Awesome.
But yes, everybody, thank you for listening. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Good night.